Well, the prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, the commencement of the sitting of the Senate cannot yet take off. That is because of the lack of quorum that the Speaker has directed that the quorum bell be rung, of course, for 10 minutes, and this is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 40. So as we wait for that quorum to be attained, we shall continue to take a look at the business that the members shall be transacting this afternoon. But just to bring to your attention is that we understand that most of the members have also been having committees this morning. Remember, the Senate business does not only include that which is being transacted at the chambers, but also that which takes place from the committee sittings. We have seen reports being brought to the House for consideration, and these reports are mostly the ones that come from the committee. So members of the Senate also have been holding committee sittings this morning, and we believe that they will be getting into the chamber in due time. One of the bills that the members of the Senate shall be considering at the Committee of the Whole is the Nuts and Oil Crops Development Bill, a bill originating from the Senate, Bills number 47 of 2023 by Honorable Hamida Kibwana. This is a bill that seeks to establish the Nuts and Oil Crops Development Board with the aim of saving the nuts and oil crops industry by revamping the policy and institutional framework within which the industry operates. The nuts and oil crops industry is a significant agricultural industry in Kenya, and therefore there is a need for a strong and robust policy and institutional foundation to support and guide the multitude of activities, operations, as well as interactions within the industry, so that the growth of the industry results in a strengthened agricultural economy for the country. So this bill proposes to revamp the nuts and oil crop sector in order to make it a profitable, sustainable, and development-oriented activity, to be also to be able to provide an avenue for appreciating the medicinal, aesthetic, touristic, and artistic value of various nuts and oils crops by encouraging value addition in the processing of nuts and its products. So this is a bill that is coming up for consideration, or lined up for consideration at the Committee of the Whole. It is a bill that was already considered extensively. The quorum has been attained. Allow me to hand you over to the business of the day. Good afternoon.
We have quorum now, so we'll straight away go to the business of the afternoon. Clerk, call the first order, please.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Order, honorable senators, kindly take your seat. Senator Osotsi and the Senator Fernande. Please take your seats. Honorable senators, I have a communication to make relating to the point of order. Pursuant to Standing Order 105, made by Senator Jackson Mandago, EGH MP, Senator for Uasin Gishu County, for Senator Seki Lenku Olekana, MP, Senator for Kajiado County, to substantiate a statement he made during debate. As you may recall, at the morning plenary sitting of Wednesday, 25th of February 2026, Senator Mandago MP rose on a point of order pursuant to Standing Order 105, bringing to the attention of the temporary speaker, Senator Catherine Muma MP, utterances made by Senator Seki MP while Senator Seki was seeking clarification on a question by Senator Joyce Korir MP to the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. The original question to the Cabinet Secretary related to the status of investigations into the fatal shooting of Mr. Victor Kipngeno Mutai. In the point of order, Senator Mandago MP sought the intervention of the chair to require Senator Seki MP to substantiate the statement, and I quote the statement, "Is it just because probably you had been given some instructions some time back that people should be killed? That is what I wanted to know." End of quote. Now, pursuant to Standing Order 105.1, the chair invited Senator Seki MP to substantiate the claim, whereupon Senator Seki requested for more time in accordance with Standing Order 105.2 to submit evidence for substantiation of his statement to the next sitting day. Having acceded to the request, the temporary speaker, Senator Catherine Muma MP, directed Senator Seki to substantiate the statement at the next sitting day. Now, honorable senators, as you're aware, Standing Order 105 states as follows: a senator shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts that the senator alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly. Further, Standing Order 105.2 states as follows: if a senator has sufficient reason to convince the speaker that the senator is unable to substantiate the allegation instantly, the speaker shall require that such senator substantiate the allegations not later than the next sitting day, failure to which the senator shall be deemed to be disorderly within the meaning of Standing Order 121, unless the senator... Senator Montet, you seem to be fighting with your gadget. Within the meaning of Standing Order 121, disorderly conduct, unless the senator withdraws allegations and gives a suitable apology. Now, honorable senators, before I decide on a matter such as this one, it is my duty as your speaker to review the Hansard of the day and satisfy myself whether indeed the statement made by a senator is one that requires substantiation in accordance with Standing Order 105. This is done to uphold the rules of debate, to ascertain if indeed substantiation is required, and if so, to save the Senate time on the argument as to which statement is required to be substantiated. Upon review of the Hansard for the morning sitting of Wednesday, 25th of February 2026, I have noted that Senator Seki's statement was made in the context of questions to Cabinet Secretaries pursuant to Standing Order 51C. The Cabinet Secretary concerned was taking supplementary questions in line with the provisions of Standing Order 51C7. From the Hansard, I have noted that the utterances made by Senator Seki MP formed part of a question posed to the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and National Administration, rather than framed as a statement of fact. Further, reading of the Hansard indicated that the point of order by Senator Mandago MP notwithstanding, the Cabinet Secretary responded to the question posed to him by Senator for Kajiado County. There is no indication from the Hansard that Senator Seki or indeed any other senator was dissatisfied with the answer given by the Cabinet Secretary. Honorable Senators, the framing of Standing Order 105 places the burden of proof on a matter that a senator alleges to be true on the senator making this statement. Throughout the proceedings, there is no indication that Senator Seki MP asserted as a matter of fact that the Cabinet Secretary had given instructions that people should be killed. My understanding of the answer is that Honorable Seki MP framed the statement in the context of a question to the Cabinet Secretary by seeking clarification from the Cabinet Secretary on whether he had given instructions that people should be killed. Arising from the totality of the proceedings and in the context in which the statement was made, I hereby determine that the point of order requiring Senator Seki to substantiate the same pursuant to Standing Order 105 becomes redundant. Accordingly, the matter is concluded and no further action will be required from Senator Seki, MP, in respect of the direction issued earlier. I thank you. Settle down, honorable senators, those who've just walked in. I have a further communication to make. Senator Boni, you may reserve greetings after the session, please. Honorable senators, I have another communication to make on the demise of Honorable Dixon Daniel Karaba, former senator for Kirinyaga County. It is with deep sorrow that I notify you of the untimely demise of former senator for Kirinyaga County, the late Senator Dixon Daniel Karaba, who passed away on the morning of Monday, 23rd March 2026 after short illness. Now, honorable senators, the late Honorable Dixon Daniel Karaba was born on the 22nd of June 1948 in Kirinyaga County. He attended Kiamaina Primary School and later proceeded to Kamuiru High School for his O-levels before joining Kagumo High School for his A-levels. He subsequently obtained a bachelor's degree in education from the University of Nairobi in 1974. The late senator, popularly known as Mwalimu Karaba, built a distinguished career in the education sector, rising through the ranks from teacher to deputy principal and later principal of various schools, including Kagumo High School, Highway Secondary School, Kianyaga High School, Kirimara High School, and Njega's Secondary School. He also served as the chairperson of the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association between 1984 and 1998. Honorable senators, the late Honorable Dixon Daniel Karaba served as senator for Kirinyaga County from 2013 to 2017, having previously represented Kirinyaga Central Constituency as a member of the National Assembly from 2002 to 2007. In the National Assembly, he served as chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education in the 9th Parliament, and in the 11th Parliament, he was again entrusted with the same role as chairperson of the Senate Standing Committee on Education. The late Senator Karaba also served as a member of the Committee on Delegated Legislation and the Joint Committee on Parliamentary Broadcasting and Library in the 11th Parliament. On behalf of senators and the entire staff of the Senate, and indeed on my own behalf, I take this opportunity to convey our heartfelt condolences to the family of the late Senator Dixon Daniel Karaba, the people of Kirinyaga County, and all his friends during this very most difficult moment. The Parliament of Kenya and the nation at large has indeed lost a diligent and selfless leader who consistently championed the interests of the people of Kirinyaga County and the welfare of teachers in Kenya. Honorable senators, in honor of our departed colleague, I now request that in the usual tradition, we all stand and observe a minute of silence. Thank you. May the soul of the late Dixon Daniel Karaba rest in eternal peace. I thank you. Now I will allow those senators wishing to say a word or two in memory of a departed brother. If you get a moment to speak, kindly do so in not more than 3 minutes. Honorable Wamatinga.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to pass my message of condolences to the family and people of Kirinyaga at large for losing a gallant soul of Honorable Senator Karaba. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, I had an opportunity of interacting with the late Senator during the time of the late Governor Ruto Gachagua. He is, and he made an impression of somebody who had a deep understanding of devolution, deep commitment of where devolution needs to take us. And he was, Mr. Speaker, one of those who advocated formation of regional economic bloc so that it would make economic sense from the counties we had around Mount Kenya. Mr. Speaker, it is in such a sad moment that we are forced to ask ourselves, when our time comes, and it will come for every one of us, what will be said about us? Mr. Speaker, it gives me a lot of inspiration to know that indeed there are readers who come into this house fully committed to serve and leave a huge footprint of what devolution needs to be to us as a country, as counties, and most important, Mr. Speaker, as communities. And therefore, it is with this spirit, Mr. Speaker, that I stand up to pass my message of condolences to the family. May God grant them peace of mind and solitude to overcome these difficult moments. To the people of Kirinyaga, it is indeed a sad moment that we've lost one of our great sons, but to us who have the responsibility of leadership, Mr. Speaker, it is a time to do a deeper soul searching on the impact that we want to leave when our day comes. I therefore want to pass my message of condolences on my behalf and on behalf of the residents of Nyeri County and indeed the whole Mulima region. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kenywa.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Kuanzia mwanzo nataka kusema ya kwamba kwa niaba ya watu wa Laikipia na niaba yangu mwenyewe nataka kuleta lisara za rambirambi kwa familia ya mwenda zake Karaba na vile vile watu wa Kirinyaga kwa kumpoteza kiongozi ambaye nilimfahamu na nilimfahamu kwanza akiwa kama kiongozi wa walimu. Bwana Spika, huyu ni kiongozi ambaye alijulikana kwanza, alikuwa mnyenyekevu, mtu ambaye atakumbukwa kwa mambo ya elimu. Alitilia mambo ya elimu mbele na vile vile kujitolea mhanga kuweza kufanya elimu kuwa ikiendelea katika gatuzi ya Kirinyaga, na si huko peke yake, sehemu zote ambazo alitembelea. Bwana Spika, tumempoteza kiongozi ambaye alikuwa ananyenyekea. Bwana Spika, Senator Karaba kwa maisha yake yote amekuwa ni mtumishi wa wananchi wa Kirinyaga na mtumishi wa Kenya. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, ikumbukwe ya kwamba huyu kiongozi yeye amekuwa mstari wa mbele si tu kwa mambo ya elimu Bwana Spika, lakini ni kufanya gatuzi ya Kirinyaga iweze kujulikana kila mahali. Bwana Spika, nakumbuka akiwa katika seneti hii alikuwa mwenyekiti wa elimu, kwa sababu kwa mambo ya elimu alikuwa amejitolea, aliyafahamu, na vile vile Bwana Spika, sisi watu wa Laikipia tutamkumbuka kwa sababu namkumbuka mara si moja akitembelea katika gatuzi yetu ya Laikipia akiangalia mambo ya masomo. Kwa hivyo vile ambavyo ningependa kusema Bwana Spika ni Mungu ailaze roho yake anakolaza wema. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Newt.
Bwana Spika, nikubalie na mimi leo hii nitumie Kiswahili katika kueleza masuala yangu, na niseme kwamba nataka nitumie risala ya rambi rabi kwa mwenda zake.
Risala za.
Naam. Asante Bwana Spika, nilikuwa mwalimu wa Kiswahili lakini nimekaa kwa miaka kadhaa kabla ya kukizungumza. Na kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, nataka niseme kwamba tumempoteza kiongozi wa maana sana. Bwana Spika, gatuzi la Kirinyaga ni jirani ya gatuzi la Murang'a, na kwa hivyo hapa tumempoteza jirani. Na si hayo tu Bwana Spika, Bwana Karaba ama Senator Karaba alikuwa ni mwalimu kama mimi, na kwa hivyo tulio sawa ama tunashabiana naye kidogo. Na kwa hivyo na tena akawa ni mwenyekiti wa kamati ya elimu katika bunge hili, jukumu ambalo nilikuwa nimelichukua Bwana Spika kabla ya kutimuliwa bila sababu. Lakini Bwana Spika, nashukuru kwamba niliweza kuhudumu katika kamati hiyo kwa hiyo miaka miwili, na kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, tumempoteza kiongozi wa maana Bwana Spika. Lakini ni lazima tuseme kwamba tunashukuru Mungu kwa miaka hiyo 78 ambayo Mwenyezi Mungu alimpatia Senator Karaba. Mimi wacha niseme kwamba hata nimeshangaa na nikashtuka kusikia kwamba alikuwa amefikisha umri huo, na kwa hivyo hata jamii yake inapomwomboleza, lakini wanayo sababu ya kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa miaka hiyo 78 aliyoweza kuishi katika ulimwengu huu. Na mwisho basi Bwana Spika, niseme kwamba Senator Karaba aliweza kufanya mambo ambayo si walimu wengi wanaweza kufanya. Akawa ni mwalimu, akawa ni mwalimu mkuu, akawa ni mbunge katika bunge la kitaifa, na akaweza kuwa seneta. Na kwa hivyo mimi naweza kusema pamoja na wengine, na Mwenyezi Mungu amlaze mahali pema peponi. Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa fursa hiyo.
Senator Kisanga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the great people of Elgeyo-Marakwet County, I want to take this opportunity to convey their condolences on the passing on of the former senator for Kirinyaga, Karaba, who was elected 2002 as a member of Parliament, National Assembly, and then 2013 came to this house in the first Senate and served for 5 years. I knew him because I was in National Assembly at the same time between 2013 and 2017. We knew him as diligent, hardworking, who rose as a classroom teacher all the way to become a principal, a deputy principal, and the principal of our national school, Kakuma High School, which we all knew in those olden days as a serious school that to ensure that several students went to the university to do professional courses. Honorable Speaker, this is a man who has risen from very low until basically what we can say is self-actualization, because when you rise from a classroom teacher, deputy senior principal, and then eventually a member of Parliament for 10 years, he had achieved. Honorable Speaker, we want to condole with their family, pray for them that the Almighty Lord God give them peace, strength during this difficult time, and eventually also accept that it is God's will that he has lived up to 78 years. You know, the Bible says that, you know, the age of a man is 78. If you are strong, God may add you another 10 or 20. But for him, he was lucky to get additional 8 years. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Senator Mundigi.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa nafasi niweze kuchangia na kuleta pole zangu na za watu wa Embu County kwa senator ambaye wa zamani wa Kirinyaga County. Ni pole sana kwa familia na watu wa Kirinyaga Bwana Karaba watu wengi walikuwa wanamjua wakati alikuwa mwalimu na pia mwalimu mkuu, na ile kazi alikuwa anafanya katika Kirinyaga County na ikamwezesha kuwa kuchaguliwa kama mbunge wa Kirinyaga na pia senator wa Kirinyaga County. Kwa hivyo ningesema ni vizuri kila mara wakati tumechaguliwa tuwe tukifanya kazi kulingana njia ile nafaa, na hiyo kitu Karaba alikuwa nafanya ilifanya anjulikane katika mlima, kwa sababu alikuwa senator wa Kirinyaga na sisi tukiwa watu wa Embu County tulikuwa najua yale alikuwa anatenda akiwa senator wa Kirinyaga, na tukajua wakati huo masenator wengine wakuwa naongea na huyu senator ambaye ni wa Kirinyaga alikuwa anafanya kazi inafaa. Kwa hiyo ningeomba watu wa Kirinyaga ni pole sana, wacha huyo senator wa samani aende salama, na tunajua ni sisi tutamfuata, sio yeye atarudi. Kwa hiyo ningesema pole sana kwa watu wa Kirinyaga. Bwana Speaker, nikimalizia ningetaka kuongea kidogo tu kuhusu senator wa Murang'a ambaye amesema anjui kwa nini alitimuliwa akiwa mwenyekiti wa elimu. Nasema kitu ya kwanza nataka nimkumbushe aliletwa hapa na Kenya Kwanza ama UNDA, na pandaye alikataa mambo ya UNDA akaenda akaungana na chama ingine ya DCP, na hiyo ndilifanya aweze kutemerewa nje. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Senator Mundigi, withdraw your last statement. Senator Mundigi. Senator Mundigi. Senator wa Embu, ama nizungumze Kiswahili?
Nikizungumza Kiswahili Bwana Speaker, ndivyo nielewe.
Order. Senator Mundigi, umekosa nidhamu katika matamshi yako ya mwisho. Kwa hivyo na kushurutisha utoe matamshi yale na umuombe msamaha mwenzako Senator Nyuto.
Asante Bwana Speaker. Nimesema pole kwa senator wa Murang'a, lakini amesikia.
Order. Order, order. Order, honorable senators. Senator wa Embu, hivyo sivyo msamaha unavyoombwa. Tafadhali simama tena na uombe msamaha bila kuweka kibwagizo.
Bwana Speaker, naomba msamaha wa senator wa Murang'a, lakini anjui alitolewa.
Senator Mundigi. Senator Mundigi, I will refer you to Standing Order 122. And I'm going to read it to you so that should the consequences follow you, you don't have to blame the chair. Standing Order 122, gross disorderly conduct. A senator commits an act of gross disorderly conduct if the senator defies a ruling or direction of the speaker or chairperson of the committee. Senator wa Embu, nikitafsiri hii kanuni ya kudumu kwa Kiswahili ni kwamba senator akipatiwa agizo na speaker na asipolitilia maanani lile agizo, basi atakuwa Senator Fernandi. The chair is speaking. Be attentive. So, Senator wa Embu, nitakupotea muda mwingine wa kuomba msamaha bila kuendeleza mambo ambayo haiingiliani na msamaha. Bila hivyo itabidi ni kuamuru utoke nje ya bunge. Endelea.
Asante Bwana Spika, nimeomba msamaha kwa Senator wa Murang'a.
Asante. Senator Boni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to mourn the Senator of Kirinyaga, former, my brother, my friend, my colleague in the National Assembly, and my colleague in this Senate for many years. Mr. Speaker, Senator Karaba joined Parliament on the same day in the year of change in 2002 with me. And we served diligently. He was a great member of Parliament. But unfortunately, after 5 years, Senator Karaba lost his seat. He went on and petitioned against Honorable John Ngata, and he actually won the petition. So when he went back to Kirinyaga Central to seek a re-election, I had the honor...
Senator Nyutu, you're out of order.
Mr. Speaker,
Caution.
I had the honor of joining him in his by-election campaign.
Senator Boni, just take your seat. Senator Nyutu, I will refer you to Standing Order 117. No senator shall pass between the chair and any senator who is speaking. That is exactly what you've done today. You're out of order, and I'll give you your first caution for the day. Conclude, Senator Boni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I had the honor in 2011 to join him when he was seeking his re-election in the by-election, together with the Honorable Mother Karua. I discovered that Kirinyaga Central was very beautiful. And Mr. Speaker, I found that the late senator indeed had his feet on the ground. He was seriously respected. He had made his contribution. And even when he came on later on, after he lost that by-election to the Senate, he also discharged very well. I want to assure the family that they are in my mind and in our prayers, and we wish that the departed senator has a peaceful rest for eternity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wakwabubi. Senator Joyce Korir. Senator Hilary Sigei.
Honorable Speaker, are we speaking, all of us?
You're not speaking. Your time is long gone. Senator Sigei.
How is...
Senator Korir, don't push it. I ought to be asking you to leave the chamber. You're on phone when I was calling your name.
Mr. Speaker, could you please protect me, Mr. Speaker, so that I can speak without interruption by Senator Joyce Korir?
Proceed.
Thank you very much. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to also pass my message of condolence to the family and the people of Kirinyaga County for the loss of their former senator. Mr. Speaker, on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Bomet, I never had an opportunity to work with Senator Karaba. I, however, happen to have had a moment to interact with him in an informal session, and I would like to say, Mr. Speaker, he was such a great leader. It was at a moment when I was representing clans in a legal matter where I happened to interact with the late senator, and we have indeed lost a great man, a great leader, and as the people that he represented for a number of years, both in this House and in the National Assembly, and from the testimonies of the colleagues whom he worked with in the National Assembly as well as in this House, that says Senator Dr. Boni Halwale, Senator the late was a leader whom we would all like to emulate. We thank the time that he had in his life to represent the people and serve this nation, and we ask that his soul rests in eternal peace, and the people, his family, and the people of Kirinyaga have sufficient grace to mourn their departed leader. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to thank you and join my colleagues in passing my condolences to the family of the late Senator Daniel Karaba Mwalimu, and to the people of Kirinyaga for losing their leader. Mr. Speaker, I may not have had an opportunity to personally interact with Senator Daniel Karaba, but going by history and the literature that I've had opportunity to read about him, the fact that he was elected by the people of Kirinyaga Central for 2 terms as a member of the National Assembly, and then later as a member of the Senate for 1 term. I'm not sure why Charagay is so excited about terms. 1 term, 2 term, I have no idea. Mr. Speaker, we condole with the family, and for the benefit of the people of Kirinyaga, for us in the Mount Kenya South, we have lost a cousin, and we shall stand with the people of Kirinyaga in mourning our cousin, and we will lead the people of Kitui in supporting that family and that community to lay the remains of the late Karaba to rest. May his soul rest in eternal peace, I think.
Senator Veronica Minor.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity for me to join my colleagues in sending my deepest condolences to the family of former Senator Honorable Daniel Karaba from Kirinyaga County. He's a person I've had the great opportunity of interacting with, but on social matters, because one of his relatives is married in the same home where I'm married. So I've met him on different occasions. A man in whose spirit brightens up a whole room when he walks in, Honorable Speaker, and a man who, even if he was done with his leadership journey in Parliament, never forgot to make to give very serious views about what he thought on the issues of leadership in the country. And I remember, Honorable Speaker, anytime we met, he would be quick to point out to me issues that I needed to pay very keen attention to. And he would begin his sentence with, Senator, hiyo mambo tafadhali angalia sana. Inaumiza hapa, inaumiza pale. Honorable Speaker, he was a respected leader, a leader of note, a dedicated teacher, a teacher who was so distinctive that he rose to be a principal in one of the good schools in Kenya, and he served with humility and touched many lives. Even after he retired from Parliament, he continued to serve the people of Kirinyaga, and on very many occasions in Murang'a and in Kirinyaga County, I have had an occasion to meet this gentleman, former Senator Daniel Karaba, in those occasions while he was supporting the people who are holding the function. Honorable Speaker, to his family and friends, I offer my deepest condolences both from myself and from my family, and I pray that the God of comfort will grant them the peace and the fortitude they need during this difficult time. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and he saves those who are crushed in the spirit. I wish the people of Kirinyaga strength as they mourn the great son of Kirinyaga County, and I pray that his soul will rest in eternal peace, and may his legacy live on. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I join my colleagues to send my deepest condolences to the family of the late Senator Karaba, the former Senator of Kirinyaga County, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Senator Karaba was a very diligent leader, and I met Senator Karaba when he was still a teacher and also who served with us in Teacher Service Commission, and later as the Senator for Kirinyaga, Honorable Speaker, during the first term of devolution. Senator Karaba, what I can remember him on is his distinguished knowledge on cooperatives management, Honorable Speaker. In our county, we all remember that MUSCO has been a cooperative society that has been under trouble for many years. But Senator Karaba was among the very first senators to understand the problem that MUSCO was facing and invited us to a meeting and even visited us in the county then, Honorable Speaker, to try and address and sort the matters that were bedeviling MUSCO. I therefore, on behalf of the people of Uasin Gishu County, wish to send our deepest condolences to the family and the people of Kirinyaga for the loss of such a great leader. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Before I ask the clerk to call the next order, allow me to pass this. Senator for Kilifi, kindly be settled. Honorable Senators, as you may recall, during the morning sitting of the Senate, held on Wednesday, 18th of March 2026, the Senator for Uasin Gishu County, the Honorable Senator Jackson Mandago, EGH MP, rose on a point of order pursuant to Standing Order 105, bringing to the attention of the Speaker a statement made by the Senator for Marsabit County, Senator Mohamed Chute, CBS MP, while asking a supplementary question to the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry for Roads and Transport. In the point of order, Senator Mandago MP sought the intervention of the Speaker to require that Senator Mohamed Chute MP do substantiate the following statement, and I quote: "The Rironi Mau Summit, which is 175 kilometers, it is costing Kenya shillings 200 billion. There is the Ouagadougou-Boko Road in Burkina Faso, which is 332 kilometers, costing 46 billion shillings. Now, Honorable Senators, as you are aware, Standing Order 105 states as follows: a senator shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts that the senator alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly. If a senator has sufficient reason to convince the Speaker that the senator is unable to substantiate the allegation instantly, the Speaker shall require that such senator substantiates the allegations not later than the next sitting day, failure to which the senator shall be deemed to be disorderly within the meaning of Standing Order 121, disorderly conduct, unless the senator withdraws the allegations and gives a suitable apology if the Speaker so requires." Now, Honorable Senators, upon being challenged by Senator Mandago MP, Senator Chute MP was not able to substantiate this statement as required pursuant to Standing Order 105(1). He subsequently requested the Speaker to provide the evidence for substantiation at the next sitting in accordance with Standing Order 105(2). Having acceded to the request, the Speaker directed Senator Chute MP substantiate the statement at the next sitting. Accordingly, and pursuant to Standing Order 105(2), I now invite Senator Mohamed Chute, CBS MP, to forthwith substantiate the statement, failure to which the senator shall be deemed to be disorderly within the meaning of Standing Order 121. In the absence of such substantiation, Senator Chute MP will be required to withdraw the statement and apologize to the Senate. Senator Mohamed Chute, you may proceed, please.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 105. 2, yes, I'm supposed to substantiate in the next sitting. In the next sitting. Honorable Speaker, the next sitting was on Wednesday afternoon. And today is Tuesday afternoon. So, Honorable Speaker, the issue has been overtaken by events. So I don't think, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, protect me, please. So, Honorable Speaker, I will request, because I was here on Wednesday afternoon, on Thursday, armed with my documents. So if I'm supposed to substantiate again, I need more time, Honorable Speaker. Yes, because I'm being told now, I didn't come with my documents. So I need, no, I need more time, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Chute, I will take it that you've not been in a position to substantiate. And you have, I'll give you the option to withdraw and apologize. If you're unable to do, then you may sit and leave the chair to make a further direct.
Point of procedure, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chute.
Point of procedure. Point of procedure, Mr. Speaker.
I'll come to you, Senator Boni, once I'm done with Senator Chute.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to table these documents. As you are aware, Honorable Speaker, on Wednesday, that was a question time. And I posed a question based on the information I have, Honorable Speaker. And the CS answered my question that day. So let me table these documents, Honorable Speaker. So I want you to look at the documents, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. I will review the documents tabled and make a ruling on the same. Let's proceed.
On procedure, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
On procedure, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Senator Boni.
Not yet.
Mr. Speaker, the matter currently before the House is unprecedented in two aspects, and I would require that, with your indulgence, you guide the House. Number one, the matter on which the member has been challenged arose after he raised a valid question to the minister. And before the minister could be given a chance, Mr. Speaker, to respond, the senator of Uasin Gishu then shot up with this point of order. And the minister had not been given an opportunity to demonstrate whether he had an answer or not, whether he needed more time to get the answer or not. Mr. Speaker, guide the House, because it's marks of an attempt by a member of the Senate to shield a minister from responding to a valid question in the House. And what's more, whether under the rules of procedure, a member can attempt to answer a question on behalf of the minister. Because what he said, the minister could have said in his answer that I do not have those details and I need time for the government of Kenya to consult with the government of Burkina Faso to bring a copy of the budget, Mr. Speaker. That's the first aspect. The second aspect, Mr. Speaker, which is the last, is on our standing orders. You need to guide the House how to read standing order number 105. Number 105, read as it is written, demands that the senator of Marsabit should have substantiated on the first sitting day, which was on Wednesday, and not Thursday, and not today. So unless we have changed standing orders, then you guide the House how we want to proceed, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Now, on the first limb of your intervention, if you remember, when this matter was live on the floor of the House, I gave an opportunity, and you said exactly what you've said now, and I directed on how to handle that matter. So the matter was rested on that particular day. On the second limb, as to whether, if you're to substantiate, it must be on the next sitting day. Indeed, you're supposed to substantiate the next sitting day. However, if the chair does not require you to do it then, you can be called upon to substantiate thereafter, in which case the senator for Marsabit was supposed to substantiate the next day, the next sitting day, but he was not given the opportunity to substantiate. It doesn't mean that that particular burden to substantiate was waived on his part. And that's why he was called upon today to substantiate. And indeed, he has tabled some documents in an attempt to substantiate. I'm going to review those documents and make a ruling as to whether I'm satisfied that these documents do respond to the point of order that was raised by the Senator for Uasin Gishu. Next order. Yes, Senator Faki, for Mombasa.
Looking at standing order number 1052, which says that if a senator has sufficient reason to convince the speaker that the senator is unable to substantiate allegations instantly, the speaker shall require that such a senator substantiate the allegations not later than the next sitting day. Not later than the next sitting day, failure to which the Senate shall be deemed to be disorderly. This is a quite clear standing order, Chair. And with profound respect, we think the next sitting day was Thursday, the 19th of March, upon which Senator Chute should have substantiated. Thank you.
The chair has pronounced itself on that matter. We move to the next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
The chairperson standing committee on labor and social welfare, or any member of the committee. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Tuesday, the 24th of March, 2026. The report on Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on its consideration of the Public Service Internship Bill, National Assembly Bills number 63 of 2022. Thank you.
The chairperson standing committee on agriculture, livestock and Fisheries. Senator Wafula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, 24th March 2026. Report of the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries on its consideration of the Seed and Plant Varieties Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that aware that Article 27 of the Constitution of Kenya guarantees the right to equality and freedom from discrimination, with Article 27(3) providing that women and men have the right to equal treatment, including the right to equal opportunities in political, economic, cultural, and social spheres. Further aware that Article 27(8) obligates the state to take legislative and other measures to redress any disadvantage suffered by individuals or groups as a result of past discrimination, and to ensure that not more than 2/3 of members of elective or appointive bodies shall be of the same gender, cognizant that mainstreaming gender perspectives in all aspects of governance is essential to achieving inclusive development and safeguarding the rights and welfare of all citizens, particularly women, girls, and other marginalized groups. Concerned that the integration of gender considerations remain inconsistent across the two levels of government, and that legislative processes have often resorted to policies that do not adequately address gender-specific needs and realities. Now, therefore, the Senate, 1, urges Parliament, county assemblies, and their respective legislative committees to incorporate a gender analysis in the scrutiny of legislation, policies, programs, and budgets before them, including through the use of gender impact assessments and consultation with gender-focused stakeholders to ensure gender-responsive governance. 2, recommends that the National Gender and Equality Commission and the State Department for Gender develops clear guidelines and tools to support the integration of gender perspectives in legislative, policy, and budgetary analysis, and ensures these are disseminated and adopted by relevant government and legislative bodies. 3, further urges the National Gender and Equality Commission and State Department for Gender to collaborate with the Kenya Law Reform Commission and County Assembly Services Board to build capacity for gender analysis among technical and legislative staff. 4, urges the State Department for Gender to submit to Parliament a comprehensive biannual report detailing actions taken by ministries, departments, and agencies to promote gender mainstreaming, key achievements, emerging challenges, and proposed interventions. And 5, resolves that the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare continuously monitors the implementation of these resolutions and tables biannual report on the status of implementation. Senator Veronica Maina, MP. And Honorable Speaker, while I was giving this notice, the House was very noisy, and this is a very important notice on gender matters.
We have heard you, Senator. Your colleagues have heard you. I saw them nodding. Senator Karungo Thango. That business is deferred. Senator Miraj Abdullahi.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, ikibainisha kwamba mnamo tarehe 29 Aprili mwaka wa 1994 janga la ajali ya feri ya Likoni lilisababisha vifo na majeraha kwa wananchi wasio na hatia, wengi wao wakiwa wakazi wa Likoni na kaunti ya Mombasa, na hivyo kuleta majonzi makubwa kitaifa pamoja na madhara ya muda mrefu ya kimwili, kisaikolojia, kijamii na kiuchumi kwa familia zilizopoteza wapendwa wao na manusura. Ikiwa na wasiwasi kwamba licha ya hakikisho na ahadi zilizotolewa na mamlaka mbalimbali kufuatilia janga hilo, bado kuna mashaka na maswali kuhusu iwapo fidia ilitolewa kikamilifu na kwa haki kwa familia zote zilizoathirika. Ikikiri kwamba kuanzishwa kwa kumbukumbu ya kitaifa ni hatua muhimu ya kuheshimu na kuenzi waliopoteza maisha, na pia ni chombo cha kuendeleza uponyaji wa pamoja wa jamii na kuimarisha uwajibikaji wa taifa kwa raia wake. Sasa basi, Seneti inaamua kwamba kamati ya kudumu ya Seneti ya barabara, uchukuzi na makaazi ifanye uchunguzi wa kina ili kubaini idadi ya familia zilizoathirika, fidia iliyolipwa hadi sasa, madai yoyote ambayo hayajalipwa, pamoja na kubainisha familia zipi bado hazijapata fidia na sababu za kutolipwa fidia hiyo. Pili, serikali ya kaunti ya Mombasa kwa ushirikiano na Wizara ya Barabara na Uchukuzi ianzishe kumbukumbu ya kudumu kwa heshima ya wahanga kwa ajili ya feri ya Likoni mwaka 1994 kwa mashauriano na familia zilizoathirika. Seneta Miraj Abdullahi.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 52-1. Senator for Baringo County, the Honorable Senator Kiprono Chemitei.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity you have given me to make a statement. I rise pursuant Standing Order number 52-1 to make a statement on matter of county concern of recurring droughts, floods, recycling in Baringo, and extended the entire country. Mr. Speaker, over the past few months, Baringo County has experienced a fair drought, particularly within the pastoral livelihood zone that makes up greater parts of the county. Main water sources are dried up, forcing communities to travel long distance in search of water. Agriculture yield have declined significantly, with many residents report poor milk production and overall deterioration of livestock body health owing to diminished pasture. Consequently, Mr. Speaker, food commodity prices have risen, which has placed an even greater strain on commodities already struggling with economic hardship. Mr. Speaker, sir, the loss of livelihood coupled with the rise of food prices has blanked up many households in the county into acute food insecurity, with pregnant women, lactating mothers, children, and elderly facing a latent risk of malnutrition. Mr. Speaker, the drought has also had profound impact on school-going children. Many schools have reportedly increased absenteeism, which has been attributed to migration of families in search of water and pasture, growing demand for children to help their families, and herding livestock and fetching water from distant source, and to an extent, hunger and illness linked to malnutrition. Mr. Speaker, while returns of rain has provided a much needed relief and marked an end of the drought, residents of Baringo County have another looming crisis. The rains, which are supposed to usher in a season of recovery, are likely to trigger flooding linked to rising water levels in Lake Baringo, Lake Bogoria. The water levels in both lakes have been rising steadily in recent years, displacing thousands of residents and damaging critical infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, I call upon the Ministry of East Africa Community Affairs and HASAL, Regional Development, Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry, Interior, and National Administration to develop and implement coordinated strategies for a lasting solution to this in humanitarian crisis. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Kiprono Chemitei, Baringo County.
Senator Hamida Kibwana.
Speaker, my statement is on 13 Global Baku Forum and strategic areas of lessons for Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of international concern, namely the 13th Global Baku Forum held from 11 to 14 March 2026 in Baku, Azerbaijan, and an event in which I was honored to participate. The forum brought together former and current heads of state and government, senior United Nations officials, diplomats, ministers, legislators, scholars, and global policy actors to deliberate on pressing international issues, including global security, multilateralism, climate action, digital governance, sustainable connectivity, Africa's future, housing, health, preparedness, and youth inclusion. Mr. Speaker, sir, the forum provided a high-level platform for engagement on a wide range of strategic themes relevant to Kenya's national interests and foreign policy priorities. This included discussions on the changing balance of power and the international system, the crisis of multilateralism and the future of global cooperation, the reform and the relevance of United Nations at 80 years, the need to sustain momentum in global climate negotiations beyond formal COP processes, Africa's current development trajectory, and future prospects, among other critical discussions. Mr. Speaker, sir, from these engagements, Kenya stands to leverage important comparative examples and strategize lessons in the following areas. Mr. Speaker, sir, kindly protect me from my colleagues here. I am unable to concentrate.
Senator Fakitui, kindly allow your colleague to make a statement in silence, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From this engagement, Kenya stands to leverage imperative examples and strategic lessons in the following areas. Number one, multilateral diplomacy and reform of global governance. The engagements underscored the importance of middle power diplomacy, coalition building, and strategic participation in international institutions, all of which are relevant to Kenya's growing profile in regional and global affairs. Number two, climate diplomacy and sustaining influence beyond Conference of Parties negotiations. The dedicated engagement on keeping the COP processes alive beyond formal negotiations offers usual lessons for Kenya as a leading African voice on climate action. Kenya can leverage comparative experience from countries that have used climate diplomacy to shape global agendas, attract green investment, and position themselves as conveners of climate solutions. Number three, Africa's strategic position in a changing world order. The forum's focus on Africa reaffirmed the continent's centrally in future global economic, demographic, and geopolitical shifts. Kenya can draw comparative lessons on how to position itself not merely as a participant, but as a regional anchor state for diplomacy, innovation, trade, peace building, and climate leadership. Number 4, sustainable connectivity, trade corridors, and economic integration. Discussions on the Middle Corridor, Eurasian gateways, and sustainable connectivity offer relevant comparative example for Kenya's own transport, logistics, and trade ambitions, including the strengthening of regional corridors, port competitiveness, rail and road integration, and the wider operationalization of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Kenya can particularly reflect on how infrastructure can be aligned with long-term economic strategy, resilience, and regional influence. Number 5, inclusive growth and implementation of the 2030 Agenda. The deliberations on accelerating the 2030 Agenda demonstrated the need for countries to connect growth strategies with social inclusion, sustainability, and territorial equity. Kenya can leverage these lessons in strengthening policy coherence between national planning, county development, infrastructure expansion, and social protection. Number 6, digital governance, artificial intelligence, and ethical innovation. The session on digital features, AI, governance, and ethics of innovation is of particular relevance to Kenya's expanding digital economy.
Order, Senator Chute and your colleagues.
Kenya can draw comparative examples on the governance of artificial intelligence, regulation of emerging technologies, digital inclusion, protection of rights in digital spaces, and the building of ethical frameworks that support innovation without compromising public accountability. Number 7, urban planning, housing, and future cities. The engagement on global cooperation for housing and perspectives toward future urban forums provides useful comparative insight for Kenya's urbanization agenda. Kenya can draw lessons on integrated urban planning, affordable housing delivery, city governance, density management, climate resilience, settlements, and the institutional coordination required to address rapid urban growth in cities such as Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, and Nakuru. Number 8, global health preparedness and resilience of public systems. The discussions on next generation health and global preparedness reinforces the need for Kenya to strengthen national and county level health resilience, particularly in relation to surveillance systems, emergency preparedness, supply chain integrity, health financing, and coordinated responses to future public health threats. The last but not the least, youth engagement in governance and policy design. The inclusion of a dedicated youth-focused session reflects the increasing recognition that intergenerational leadership is essential to sustainable governance. Kenya can draw lessons on how to institutionalize youth voice not merely as a symbolic matter, but as a substantive part of public policy, innovation, peace building, and democratic participation. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 13th Global Baku Forum, therefore, offered not only a platform for dialogue, but also a valuable repository of comparative experiences that Kenya can adapt in strengthening its foreign policy, legislative, oversight, development, planning, and international partnership. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. Senator Hamida Kibwana, you have a statement.
Yes, Mr.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My statement is on governance, regulatory, and service delivery concerns arising from the ongoing dispute at the Nairobi Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare regarding the governance, regulatory, and service delivery concerns arising from the ongoing dispute affecting the Nairobi Hospital and its parent body, the Kenya Hospital Association. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Nairobi Hospital has been affected by sustainable international disputes touching on the conduct of board elections, the legitimacy of office holders, the exercise of trustee powers, and major financial decisions, including proposed borrowing and capital expenditure. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, the status of governance and administrative arrangements currently in place at the Nairobi Hospital and the Kenya Hospital Association, strictly to the extent necessary to establish whether there is institutional stability and continuity in the management of the hospital. Number two, whether the ongoing dispute has in any way affected the delivery of health services, patient care, staffing, and other aspects of the hospital's operations, and if so, the measures taken to mitigate such effects. Number three, the oversight role of the Ministry of Health, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, and other relevant regulatory body in ensuring that private hospitals of significant public importance continue to meet standards on patient safety, quality of care, ethical practice, and institutional accountability during periods of internal disputes. Number four, the measures in place to safeguard the interests of patients, staff, members, and the public from any adverse effects that may rise from governance instability or leadership wrangles at the institution. Number five, whether the existing legal and regulatory framework governing major private health institutions is sufficient to assure transparency, fiduciary accountability, continuity of care, and protection of public interests where such institutions experience governance disputes. The last but not the least, finally, the policy, administrative, or legislative measures that may be necessary to strengthen governance and public interest, oversight of private health institutions whose operations have a sustainable bearing on healthcare delivery in the country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Before I call Honorable Senator Osotsi, allow me to address the matter by Senator Chute. Senator Fernandez, take your seat. Now, honorable senators, having considered the documents laid on the table of the Senate by Senator Chute, pursuant to the directions from the chair for him to substantiate the statements he had, I now rule as follows. The document tabled by the senator is essentially a reiteration of the same statements he made. They are in no way a substantiation of the statements in the manner required by Standing Order 105. In the document, the senator claims to have used certain sources of references, but gives no specific verifiable citations. Importantly, the senator has not tabled any of the alleged references. Now, having found that the senator has failed to substantiate his statement, I now direct the senator to withdraw the statement he made, failure to which he will constitute disorderly conduct under Standing Order 105-2, and will invite the consequences for such conduct. Now, Senator Fernandez, when you get overly excited over procedural matters like this, it concerns the chair. And of course, your colleagues get concerned too. Senator Chute, you may proceed. Yeah, let's settle this first before we touch on constitutional issues. Proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I am not going to withdraw because these are facts. These are facts which are out there, and I'm not going to withdraw. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
I will now ask you to leave the chamber for the remainder of the day. Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to make two statements. The first statement is on the ongoing recruitment of staff by the Social Health Authority, SHA. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern regarding the ongoing recruitment of staff by the Social Health Authority, SHA. Mr. Speaker, sir, as SHA assumes central role in Kenya's transition towards universal health coverage, concerns have emerged over the integrity, transparency, and inclusivity of its recruitment process. Reports of irregularity, ethnic bias, and uncertainty surrounding the absorption of former NHIF staff risk undermining public confidence in this critical reform. In this regard, it is in this regard that the committee should address the following. 1, staffing plans by the Ministry of Health through the Social Health Authority, SHA, specifically how it intends to balance reduced staffing requirements with the absorption of the workforce inherited from the defunct NHIF. 2, inordinate delay in deploying the 200 former NHIF employees seconded the Public Service Commission and outline measures to resolve their status. 3, whether there were consultations with the county governments in recruitment of the county operation managers given their role within the devolved units. 4, an audit of the recent appointments within SHA, particularly senior positions, to ensure compliance with the constitutional principles of inclusivity, equity, regional balance provided for in Article 10 and Article 232 of the Constitution. 5, institute formal inquiry into the recruitment process undertaken by SHA and recommend corrective measures, including possible nullification of irregular appointments where necessary. Second statement, Mr. Speaker, is on the rising cases of insecurity in Vihiga County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, Foreign Relations on the matter of county-wide concern regarding the alarming rise in insecurity in Vihiga County, particularly in Luanda and the Muhaya sub-counties, with the West Bunyore ward being among the most affected. Mr. Speaker, sir, the surge in killings, violent robberies, and organized criminal activities has instilled fear among traders, border operators, and households, undermining livelihoods and public confidence in security institutions. Mr. Speaker, despite prior intervention, including the 37th Jukwaa la Usalama Forum
held in Vihiga County on the 14th September 2025, and consultations between elected leaders and the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, the situation continues to deteriorate. The gruesome murders of Mr. Zablon Ambuka, Ms. Charity Beva, and Mr. Henry Tira, among others, underscore the urgent need for decisive and coordinated action to restore peace and security in the county. In this regard, I request the committee to address the following. 1, a comprehensive report on recent killings, violent robberies, and organized criminal activities in Vihiga County, including the number of incidences reported in the past 1 year. 2, progress on investigation into the recent cases of violence targeting traders, border operators, and residents, including the number of suspects arrested and prosecuted. 3, steps taken by the ministry to implement resolutions from the 37th Jukwaa la Usalama Forum held in Vihiga County on the 14th September 2025. 4, collaborative framework between the national government and the county government of Vihiga to enforce intelligence sharing, community policing, and coordinated responses to criminal activities. Number 5, long-term measures to strengthen intelligence gathering, address possible collusion between criminal elements and security officers, and rebuild public trust in security operations in Vihiga County. Mr. Speaker, this is very important. I'm losing people every day because of insecurity, and the Minister for Interior is busy buying watches.
Senator Tabitha Mutinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to request a statement on the various placements of various insurance companies under statutory management. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 53, I seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Finance and Budget on a matter of national concern regarding the recent placement of Trident Insurance Company, Cusco Mutual Assurance Limited, and Corporate Insurance Company under statutory management by Insurance Regulatory Authority, IRA. Mr. Speaker, this regulatory action taken without prior notice has left thousands of innocent policyholders stranded. Their paid-up policies abruptly cancelled, with many compelled to purchase alternative cover at short notice, amounting to an urgent and just double financial burden. Equally, disturbing are reports of harassment and extortion by traffic police officers targeting motorists insured by the affected companies. This situation has exposed policyholders to unfair treatment, financial loss, and insecurity, raising serious questions about transparency, accountability, and consumer protection. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the specific factors that informed IRA to place Trident Insurance Company, Cusco Mutual Assurance Limited, and Corporate Insurance Company under statutory management, and whether these firms were given adequate opportunity to remedy the concerns that had been raised, if any. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, why IRA failed to make public concerns regarding the company's administration and operations at the time they first arose. thereby denying the public the ability to make informed choices when purchasing insurance policies. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, the measures IRA has put in place to protect policy holders following the regulatory action, including whether the National Police Service has been instructed to allow for a grace period for the affected motorists to ensure alternative covers. Number 4, Mr. Speaker, and lastly, the reforms being considered to ensure future regulatory actions are transparent, timely, and not prejudicial to policy holders, including whether IRA will publish concerns about any insurance company in future that may arise with similar issues. Senator Mutinda, CBS. Thank you.
Senator Seki of Kajiado.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I request for a statement on the working conditions at the ongoing construction sites at the Bomas of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national concerns regarding the working conditions of laborers at the ongoing construction sites of the Bomas of Kenya. Concerning, Honorable Speaker, concerns have been raised to workers and members of the public regarding safety standards, welfare of workers, and possible non-compliance with occupational safety and health regulations at the site. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the levels of compliance with occupation safety and health standards at the construction site, including adherence to the provisions of Occupational Safety and Health Acts, the inadequacy of workers' protection, including provisions of personal protection equipments, and effective of safety measures, including first and emergency responses mechanisms. 3, whether any workplace incidents or incidences have been reported since commencement of the construction works, outlining the measures taken in response. 4, the levels of oversight and compliance monitoring, including inspections and audit conducted by the contractor and relevant government agencies, and provide report thereof. Employment terms and enforcements, including contractual status, working hours status, compliance on wages and social protections, and measures taken by the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection to ensure compliance and safeguarding workers' welfare. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Kinyo. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for a statement on human wildlife conflict and failed interventions at Radiac Forest in Laikipia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the escalating human wildlife conflict in Radiac Forest in Laikipia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, Radiac Forest, which covers approximately 7,500 hectares, serves as a breeding ground and habitat for about 57 elephants. However, the limited water supply within the forest, especially during dry seasons, has forced these animals to invade surrounding villages in search of water and food, resulting in devastating losses to farmers and posing risks to human life. The affected areas include Gatito, Majani, Karafa, Kenyongo, Kafage, Moireri, Rereshwa, Naibrom, Jorwa, Kapsigirio, Kinamba, and Karandi villages, which with over 30,000 homesteads. Horticulture farmers in particular have suffered repeated destruction of crops despite government intervention in 2022, including the proposal to fence the forest at a cost of 155,760,740. The measures undertaken have proven ineffective due to substandard fencing and failure to install water sources within the forest. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the plans in place to provide adequate water sources within Rariak Forest to reduce elephant migration into human settlements. 2, whether compensation will be provided to affected farmers and homesteads for the losses incurred. 3, the reason for the ineffectiveness of the completed sections of the fence, including weak energizers, improperly installed earth rods, and lack of striking triggers at posts. 4, the reasons why the fencing project initiated in 2022 was left incomplete and why one section was handed over to Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, without community involvement, including the measures being taken to repair or reinforce the damaged section of the fence, currently estimated at 45%. 5, whether there are plans for convening a joint meeting between contractors, KWS, stakeholders, and the community to agree on sustainable solutions to this conflict. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Joyce Korir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I seek a statement on the discovery of 14 bodies buried without authorization at Makaburini Cemetery in Kericho County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 52-1, I rise to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Security regarding the deeply disturbing discovery of 14 bodies buried without requisite permits at Makaburini Cemetery in Kericho County. Honorable Speaker, this matter raises grave concerns touching on the public health, adherence to the rule of law, and the dignity of human life as enshrined under Article 28 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Reports indicate that the said bodies were interred under unclear and unlawful circumstances, without proper documentation, burial permits, or adherence to the procedures stipulated under the Public Health Act, Cap 242, and the other relevant statutes governing the handling and disposal of human remains. Honorable Speaker, the incident further points to the possible systemic failures and lapse in the oversight among the relevant national and county government agencies, including the law enforcement, health institution, and county authorities charged with management of public cemeteries. Of particular concern are allegations that some of the bodies may have been transported from undisclosed location and appear signs of suggesting possible criminal activity, thereby necessitating thorough forensic investigation. Honorable Speaker, in light of the foresaid, I request the chairperson to surprise this House on the following. 1, the circumstances under which the 14 bodies were buried at the Makaburini Cemetery without the requisite legal authorization and documentation. Secondly, the status and progress of investigation by the relevant authorities, including Directorate of Criminal Investigation, and whether any individual have been identified, apprehended, or charged in connection with this incident, Honorable Speaker. that whether the due process was followed in handling, transporting, and disposal of the said bodies, including confirmation of their origin, identification, and notification of the next of kin, Honorable Speaker. Fourth, the role, if any, played by the Kericho County government and relevant health facilities in authorizing or overseeing the said burials, and whether any public officers have been implicated, Honorable Speaker. Fifth, the measures taken to conduct the forensics examination established the identities and cause of death of the deceased person and ensure lawful exemption and dignified reburial where necessary. The sixth one, Honorable Speaker, the steps being taken by the government to safeguard compliance with the existing laws and regulations governing the management of human remains, including disposal of unclaimed bodies. Seventh one, Honorable Speaker, the policy, administrative, and legislative intervention being put in place to prevent recurrence of such incident in any part of this country. Honorable Speaker, this House and indeed the nation at large expect our accountability, transparency, and the upholding of human dignity, even in death. It is therefore imperative that this matter be investigated comprehensively and expeditiously, as that those found culpable be brought to justice. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, I have Senator Hamida, Senator Joyce Korir. Take your seat. Honorable Senators, I have communication from the Chair on visiting delegations. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting students and teachers from Sindendet Secondary School in Baringo County and Murray Girls Secondary School in Taita Taveta County. The delegation comprises 133 students and 11 teachers from the two schools who are undertaking an academic exposition. On behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful and enriching visit. Honorable Senators, I would also like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon of a visiting delegation from the County Assembly of Kwale. The delegation comprises 5 procedural clerks who are in the Senate for a benchmarking visit. On behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful and enriching visit. Senator Cherargei, I'll give you an opportunity to welcome the students of Baringo County. Is he here? Oh, my apologies. Senator of Baringo County, you have 1 minute to welcome the school.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity you have given me to join you in welcoming the new learners and their teachers in the House, and also to welcome the members, the delegation from Kwale. You are most highly welcome in this House, and I wish them all the best. The students from Sinende are my neighboring school. I know them very well. They have traveled from far, and they are the neighboring school of Kisanana Boys High School, where I learned during my secondary school, and I know where they come from. So I take this opportunity to welcome them in the House and encourage them to struggle in their learnings, and in the near future, they'll be honorable members, just the way we are in the House. So as they go back to home, I wish them safe travels and say hi to their parents and their fellow students. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Manzo, you can welcome the students from Taita Taveta as your neighbors.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Senator for Taita Taveta, the Honorable Maruma, I do welcome the students from Taita Taveta and say that I hope you are going to learn, from the Senate, and that for Parliament, in your examinations, you definitely will have a question to do with Parliament when you are dealing with the government, and it's good you do your level best to learn something when you come to Nairobi. I want to wish you safe travels back home. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator of Mombasa, I want to give you the opportunity to welcome the delegation from Kwale.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii kukaribisha mwenyekiti, kukaribisha delegation ya Kwale katika bunge hili. Mheshimiwa Spika, Kwale ni kaunti moja ambayo ni muhimu sana katika nchi yetu, kaunti ambayo ni 002, na hivi karibuni kumekuwa na mjadala mkubwa kuhusiana na mambo ya madini katika eneo la Kwale, na ni katika seneti hii ndipo ambapo tutaweza kuhakikisha kwamba rasilimali za Kwale zinatumika kikamilifu. Vile vile Mheshimiwa Spika, Kwale pia wana madai mengi kwa Wizara ya Madini kuhusiana na zile ambazo ruzuku zilikuwa zitoke wakati Tiomin walipokuwa wakivuna madini ya titanium katika kaunti hili. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, karibuni watu wa Kwale, na muwe nyumbani kwamba mmeweza kusikia, na ni masikitiko kwamba seneta wenu ameondoka kwa sababu hajisikii vizuri kwa kuwa ametoka safari. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Senators, considering that we have a lot of statements which have been read, and I'm sure senators would want to make comments on it, I want to rearrange the order paper just for one order so that we can move to order number 8, conclude with it, and then come back to comments on the statements. Clerk.
Order number 8, motion. Report of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Honorable Isaiah Maina, a member of the County Assembly of Nandi County, representing Ole Soswad, on the proposed amendments to the County Governments Act. Resumption of debate interrupted on Thursday, 19th March. Question to be put.
Senator Joyce. Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Honorable Isaiah Maina, a member of the County Assembly of Nandi County representing Ole Soswad, on proposed amendments to the County Governments Act, Cap 265, laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 11th March 2026. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, we shall make comments to the statements. Senator Edwin Sifuna.
Speaker, the statements that have been requested by Senators Koriro, Sotsi, and Senator Hamida are the clearest indication of how lost we are as a country, Honorable Speaker. There is a big problem in this country and we need to address it. So sample this, Speaker. Yesterday there was a report that 4 people in a place called Ginda in Sako constituency of Marsabit were killed by bandits. Senator Osotsi has told us that they are marauding gangs running around Vihiga, killing people, Honorable Speaker. We have had incidents, Honorable Speaker, of bodies being dumped in a mass grave in Kericho, and nobody can tell us what is going on in that particular instance. At the very same time, the minister responsible for Interior is telling us that he knows where every one of us sleeps and who we sleep with, that he has focused his surveillance on us in the political class, Honorable Speaker, that he can tell where Sifuna has slept and who we have slept with. But he cannot tell you, Honorable Speaker, he cannot tell you as a Minister for Interior how somebody can be able to sneak into a ward at KNH and stab a patient and murder a patient in the bed. Honorable Speaker, at the very same time, I am asking myself, how can somebody who's supposed to be the patron of our public health facilities, with all the attendant problems, for instance, Honorable Speaker, Kenyatta National Hospital, a national referral facility, has had cases of shortages of blood, test reagents, medicines, even patient food at times, Honorable Speaker. Recurrent problems about failures of critical equipment, including CT scans, dialysis machines. As we speak, the radiotherapy machine has been out of service for 3 months. Speaker, the person who's supposed to be the patron of Kenyatta has run away from Kenyatta and is now using police to take over Nairobi Hospital. He's telling us he's a patron of a private hospital. I am asking myself very many questions, Honorable Speaker. How is it possible for a head of state, a national government, to take over a private facility? So the questions that have been raised by Honorable Hamida require very serious answers, Honorable Speaker. If you are telling us that you are the patron of all these important private businesses, I remember there were businesses like Nakumat here. They collapsed, Honorable Speaker. And we never saw police being sent into, Nakumat to be able to take over the affairs of Nakumat. In fact, even at Kenyatta itself, with all these problems that we've listed, Honorable Speaker, when was the last time you had the board of Kenyatta being arrested and taken to court? And the most annoying thing, Honorable Speaker, is that if you look at the membership of that board, these are old men, people with the proper professional records, senior doctors in this country. They are arrested over the weekend, Honorable Speaker. And the president himself confirms that he's the one who sent the police. Speaker, when President Ruto was campaigning, he told us that the era of the use of state security agencies to intimidate and to harass people would be a thing of the past. When he stands up and confirms his mambo ni matatu philosophy in handling of private disputes, we have a reason to worry, which is why we continue to urge that, Honorable Speaker, this country can never be about shiny things. You are building as a railway. It is ours anyway. It is our money. But you are arresting 80-year-old doctors to take over a private facility. Na yako imekushinda. The national referral hospitals, such as Kenyatta and Moi in Eldoret, Honorable Speaker, are in dire conditions. When will the board of Kenyatta ever be arrested, Honorable Speaker, for these critical failures? We have queues at Kenyatta. People are sleeping on the floors. There are no wards. And then you go and tell us that you are the patron of a private facility and therefore you are going to take over it. These are the issues, Honorable Speaker, that point us to misplaced priorities and the fact that this government has totally lost its way. Speaker, as bandits run around Marsabit and the other countries, do you know there were 2 police land cruisers which were sent to Narok town to disrupt a political rally by elected members of this house, including myself and Senator Ososi. As the bandits run around there, in those areas I've mentioned, Honorable Speaker, would you believe it that if you pass outside Dari Restaurant, Tuju's Restaurant on Ngong Road, there are 4 police land cruisers permanently stationed there for the past 1 week. Murkomen, surely, as a former member of this house, we expect, especially from the younger leadership, that we will be able to demonstrate that we can run a country. Speaker, what is happening in this country is unacceptable. And we want all Kenyans to know that don't be deceived by those shiny things like railways and stadiums. We need to put in place a government that will put the safety and well-being of all individual Kenyans ahead of everything else. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Senators, we are going to spend only 20 minutes on comments of statements. And I see a lot of names on the dashboard. So I would ask the following, the senators that are going to speak for not more than 3 minutes. Senator Boni Kalwale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the matter raised by Senator Hamida, that Dr. Obwaka was arrested because of the good work that he's doing at Nairobi Hospital. We are very unhappy. He's our senior colleague. He was our consultant when we were interns. He was our lecturer. Dr. Obwaka at 80 years plus has absolutely no reason, Mr. Speaker, to want to wish the collapse of Nairobi Hospital. When I heard about it, I went to Muliro Gardens at 7 p.m. that evening. The place was deserted in Kakamega. And I looked in the sky, looked at the sun, and asked myself, is this the same garden where I stood and asked the people that we want to vote change? Mr. Speaker, it cannot be right that we arrest professionals who have, in fact, Dr. Obwaka, for information, Mr. Speaker, has no interest in the small money you see around. The guy succeeded financially long time ago. Mr. Speaker, the issue raised by the Senator of Vihiga about the conduct of police. Under the Police Code of Conduct, a policeman is supposed to act with integrity, honor, and fairness. The same police officers who are now doing collaboration with gangs and goons in Vihiga, because we border with Vihiga longest, are the same ones who come to Kakamega in the night using police land cruisers, Mr. Speaker, to collect soil of gold to go and do business. They are the same ones, Mr. Speaker, who come and raid our villages when our elders and others are enjoying traditional beer. They come and harass them, and the alcohol they take, Mr. Speaker, they go and sell at their own joints, which they have done with some unscrupulous people. There must be order in the police force. Otherwise, I see them harassing my kid brother, Edwin Sifuna. Edwin Sifuna cannot even hurt a fly. He's very fluent in English, speaks very good Kiswahili, not to mention Kiluya. Let him do his thing. He is enjoying the freedom of choice, freedom of association, freedom of speech, for which his grandfather fought. His grandfather, Henry Pius Masinda Mliro, they're the ones who fought for this nation. You cannot deny his great-grandchild from enjoying the fruits of that struggle. Mr. Speaker, I'm calling these people out.
Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to comment on Senator Otsosi's statement on the security situation in the country, Mr. Speaker, and say on top of that, Meru, where Meru borders with other counties, there has been cattle rustling, and quite a number of people from that region have been attacked and killed, and their animals driven away, Mr. Speaker. We know that cattle rustling is being prevented in some parts of this country and should be a thing of the past now. Some people do it as a matter of culture, but in the real sense, it is robbery with violence. Mr. Speaker, we should see police action in those areas, and we should make sure that, as a Senate, through this statement, that people in Kenya live safely. The most important thing for the government is to prevent and make sure that people's lives are not lost carelessly, or people are not injured by the system. And Mr. Speaker, is very annoying, to see that happen while we purport to build the roads. If quite a number of young people are kidnapped and killed, who are you building the railway for? If you are doing the housing project and people are dying very carelessly across the country, massively, if it is not floods, Mr. Speaker, which we expected and we knew will come, and the weather forecast is there, the drainage system is bad, Mr. Speaker. And as you drive innocently in Nairobi streets, you find yourself in a river, you are alone in a small car, and you end up being swept away. What are you building the houses for, Mr. Speaker? So I think the sanctity of life must be given priority. Police should be retrained. They should be called into order. The minister should get serious now and make sure that all these areas from Otsosi's county, Meru County, in Makueni, and many other places where people are being killed by gangs who closely work with the police, Mr. Speaker. And the most unfortunate thing, Mr. Speaker, any murder case you are investigating in the country, and I've got 2-3 cases in Makueni, at times the police work with the criminals. They arrest the wrong person, and they keep the murderer safe. Even when you give information where he's hiding, police go there and they report he has escaped or they did not see anybody. So then who will you prosecute? And the moment you leave a murderer loose, Mr. Speaker, he's going to kill more and more people while the police collude and work with the criminals. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I do support.
Abbas Sheikh Mohammed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to contribute on the Honorable Member from Baringo on the flowers of the Lake Baringo and the neighboring lakes. Honorable Speaker, what is happening in Baringo of late is that the Lake Baringo, Begoria, Rukana, all these lakes are now rising up. And there must be some changes taken, at least some ideological changes that are taking place. And most of the land that was grazing land for the communities are now being displaced by water. However, less attention has been given these issues. And I think it's a high time, if this water is not actually been attended to, it may move even towards Nakuru and all these places. There's big concerns now, the lakes are now rising up. And I think we need to divert these kind of waters for irrigation and for the production, so at least the communities living in these places can be able to use that water. Honorable, equally, I want to contribute to Honorable Associate's the issues to do with security. Honorable Speaker, the country of late is getting actually out of hand, and I think insecurity is actually by the day increasing. You hardly hear a day where any day that there is no somebody killed or people dying. Of course, death is normal, but the insecurity issue is now rising, and it is high time that now this country has to make security issues highly, kind of emergencies or a concern.
Senator Mogeni, Eric.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to comment on the statement that was raised by Senator Mutinda on placement of 3 insurance companies on statutory management: Corporate Insurance, Trident, and Cusco. Mr. Speaker, the way we know it, Mr. Speaker, it is the government that licenses insurance companies to do business in this country. It is the same government that's supposed to monitor and ensure that insurance companies are solvent, Mr. Speaker. It is the same government that's supposed to ensure that the financial status of those companies is held, so that when Kenyans pay money to get insurance covers, Mr. Speaker, they should not lose their money. Mr. Speaker, the question I want to ask this afternoon: who, Mr. Speaker, is going to refund money to all the Kenyans who paid money to those companies to get their covers, Mr. Speaker? We are told that a statutory manager has been appointed to take over the running of those companies. Mr. Speaker, I did insurance law at university when I was a student. And the first obligation of a statutory manager is to protect policy holders. But what I've heard from Senator Mutinda this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, is that the harassment of Kenyans is not even extending to innocent Kenyans who had purchased insurance policies from insurance companies that have been placed under statutory management by the government, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you have suspended the board and the management of an insurance company, Mr. Speaker, and you have taken over the operations, financial management of an insurance company, Mr. Speaker, why should a policy cover that had been issued by that insurance company be declared invalid, Mr. Speaker? And then why are the policemen harassing innocent Kenyans who already have those policy documents on their vehicles, Mr. Speaker? And I'm wondering, Mr. Speaker, if the government cannot protect innocent citizens, then who will it protect, Mr. Speaker? I'm hoping, Mr. Speaker, that the head of Insurance Regulatory Authority can appear before this House, Mr. Speaker, and tell us, as Kenyans, when we buy insurance policies, Mr. Speaker, what guarantee do we have that tomorrow they're not going to place other insurance companies under statutory management? Shouldn't we, Mr. Speaker, be told companies that should not be allowed to run insurance business in this country, Mr. Speaker? I support this statement, Mr. Speaker, and hope that the government will, Mr. Speaker, in the interim, protect the Kenyans who are taken out policies from these 3 insurance companies.
Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll just quickly comment. There are a number of issues that colleagues have raised. One was in the issue of bodies that has been buried. We don't know what is the number, either 13 or 14. Mr. Speaker, we must be told, because I've seen some documentation, the disposal of unclaimed bodies, Mr. Speaker, is based on a legal procedure. And we really want to know what happened in Kericho, because there should be cemeteries in Nyamira. Why would they transport? And I hope as Dr. Johansen or Duar does the postmortem, we'll be able to be told what killed those Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, this comes that even Kenyatta National Hospital has put a notice that there are 480 unclaimed bodies. Half of them are children, Mr. Speaker. I think and I believe that Kenyans who die should be given dignified, and I hope these unclaimed bodies of 480, we should be told what happened to them and be filed with the relevant court of law. Mr. Speaker, I've had my colleague trying to insinuate that the president appointed himself to be the patron of Nairobi Hospital. You know, this era of convenient lying before the House and misleading the House, it's very unfortunate. What is not, Senator Sifuna is not telling the country that the past patron of Nairobi Hospital was Kenyatta 1. The second patron was President Moi. The third patron was Uhuru Kenyatta. The fourth patron was Kibaki, and the fifth patron is His Excellency William Ruto. So, Mr. Speaker, those are statements you make in Linda Tumbo or Linda Mwananchi, wherever you are, somewhere in the village, and they are confident, Mr. Speaker, we should up the debate. We cannot allow Senator Sifuna every time he wakes up to attack the president for the convenience, since he is not here, Mr. Speaker. And I know the next reply, I saw Senator Orengo has run away. Governor Orengo is now following the president, Mr. Speaker, and we are aware members of Linda Mwananchi have been calling us day and night wants to move to government. Mr. Speaker, finally, on the issue of, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of security, I want to assist you, Senator Otsosi, on the issue of security.
Senator Cherargei, what is your point of order?
Preserve my time, Kavata.
Yes, stop his time. Yes, Osotsi. Give him the mic.
Mr. Speaker, I rise on standing order number 105, statement of fact. Senator Cherargei, who happens to be my friend and my neighbor, and I know he's going to support my statement on insecurity in Vihiga. Is he in order to imply that Linda Mwananchi, that we are talking to them, when he knows very well that people like Godfrey Osozi, people like Edwin Sifuna, people like James Orengo have no time for this government, because this government has failed Kenyans, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Senator Osotsi, I didn't quite understand your standing order.
Mr. Speaker, can you allow me?
Why are you asking for your point of order? Why are you asking?
Mr. Speaker,
it's okay.
That's a political statement. That's a political statement, Mr. Speaker, you can make in Bale or Rwanda in a market day. It does not meet the threshold of this House. Mr. Speaker, financially on the issue of security, I am disappointed, Mr. Speaker, that, Mr. Speaker, and these guys will be sorted out on Friday at NDC of ODM. I can see the party leader is here. Sort them out. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of security, I agree with them, with Senator Otsosi, because IPOA has become toothless. Mr. Speaker, you remember my boys were beaten up in Nandils town. No one has been arrested today. No investigations have been done whatsoever. In Kimwani, Mr. Speaker, my people are killed. No one has been arrested, and the police have happened to have been the one to have perpetrated, Mr. Speaker. Even this Chukwala Usalama turned into Chukwala Kisiasa. We must audit Chukwala Usalama. They spent over 600 million. We must be told what was the purpose of Chukwala Usalama. If we cannot address such issues, the issue of border attacks, the issue of insecurity, Mr. Speaker, in Vihiga transcends, Mr. Speaker, many other counties, Mr. and including Garissa. I saw in a video where a woman was attacked in Garissa town because of lawlessness and insecurity. Even here in Nairobi, I remember in the coastal region where Senator Faki comes from, there was a big problem, Mr. Speaker. So on this issue of insecurity, Mr. Speaker, and even Meru, the issue of banditry must be addressed once and for all, and the minister in charge must be taken to task to tell the country what he's doing in terms of improving security in this country. Mr. Speaker, with those very many comments, I beg to support all the statements of my colleagues.
Honorable Senators, I'm going to give an opportunity to Senator Agnes Kavendo, who has requested the chair because she is not feeling too well and she wanted to comment. Proceed, Senator Agnes.
Asante, Bwana Spika. Kwanza, kabla sija comment kwa statement zote zile zimetolewa, nataka kushukuru hii nyumba ya Seneti, kuanzia Spika na nyinyi nyote, maana wakati nimepoteza mtoto mmekuja kwa wingi, mmenisapoti, mmenifariji, na mpaka wa leo mnaendelea kunifariji na kunishikilia. Asanteni sana, Mungu wa uzima awabariki sana nyote. Na pia kwenye hizi statement ambazo zimetolewa, Bwana Speaker, nataka kuongelea statement ya Joyce Commissioner. Hao watu ambao walienda kuzikwa kule Baringo, hatujui aswa walitoka wapi na ni nani aliwapeleka. Bwana Speaker, nataka kusema ya kwamba hao watu labda ni ule mchezo ulikuwa unachezwa wa huyu Mackenzie. Kule watu walikuwa naenda kuzikwa in mass graves huko. Sasa labda watu wanatafuta mahali watapeleka watu, na hii ni lazima ichunguzwe kwa undani kabisa. Isiwe ni watu ambao wanaua watu na kuwapeleka tu pahali wataona wanaweza kuingia kwa urahisi na kuzika watu. Na lazima interior itafute ni kina nani hao wanaua watu na kwenda kuzika in mass graves. Lazima watu wetu watunzwe na walindwe. Namba 2, insecurity, Bwana Speaker, iko kila mahali Kenya. Tukienda Machakos kuna insecurity. All 47 counties, insecurity ni nyingi, na ni lazima watu wa interior wafanye kazi. Minister wa interior, CS, ni lazima afanye kazi inavyostahili kulinda wananchi wa Kenya, na serikali ya Kenya ni lazima ilinde mwananchi wa Kenya. Nikienda kwa hii insurance, Bwana Speaker, wale watu wakikata insurance hiyo, wao hawakujua kama wana matatizo ama watafunga ama watafanya nini. Walikata insurance. Kwa hivyo so long as wako na insurance, hawastahili kuulizwa na police mambo ya insurance. Wangoje mpaka insurance zao ziishe na zile pesa ambazo wamelipia ziishe, ndio warudi sasa kuulizwa mambo ya insurance. Asante sana Bwana Speaker, na ninashukuru kwa kunipa nafasi hii. Thank you.
Senator John Kinyo.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Nataka kuchangia taarifa iliyoletwa na Tabitha kuhusu kampuni za bima. Bwana Spika, kampuni za bima kuwekwa katika usimamizi kisheria inawezekana, lakini kile ambacho kinavunja moyo sana ni mtu ambaye tayari alikuwa amelipa bima yake, hakuwa na uhusiano wowote, kwa sababu serikali ilipaswa kulinda mwananchi. Bwana Spika, imekuwa sasa hiyo ndio njia ya polisi kupata hongo mrungura. Wanasimamisha watu wakiwa kwa barabara, wanakuambia wewe hauna bima. Hiyo ni shughuli yako, kwa sababu tayari wewe ulikuwa umekata bima, umelipa, alafu unaambiwa hauna bima. Bwana Spika, serikali inapaswa iwe juhudi yake ama kazi yake ni kulinda wananchi, na haifanyi vile. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, wale ambao wanahusika wanapaswa kualikwa na kamati inayohusika waweze kujibu maswali kwa niaba ya Wakenya, Bwana Spika. Nimepigiwa na wananchi wengi wakiwa wamesimamishwa barabarani, Bwana Spika, na kuambia hawana bima ilhali wana bima. Hasa hii kampuni ya Trident ambayo watu wengi walikuwa wamechukua bima pale. Na Bwana Spika, walikuwa wanalipisha kwa bei nafuu. Mimi ninakisia, Bwana Spika, pengine kuna hali ya kutaka kuwadhulumu wale wafanyabiashara. Bwana Spika, vile vile tumekuwa tukiambiwa kila wakati mambo ya jukwaa la usalama. Lakini katika jukwaa la usalama mambo yanakuja wanaongewa na inakuwa ni jukwaa, Bwana Spika. Hakuna mambo yanatendeka kutoka pale, kama vile Senator Ososi alivyosema. Ukitembea Laikipia watu wanaishi katika ile hali ya sintofahamu, Bwana Spika, kushambuliwa, wanyama wao kuibiwa na vile vile watu kuuawa. Na waziri wa usalama kila wakati tunamsikia ako katika gatuzi hii na jukwaa la usalama, gatuzi ile na jukwaa la usalama, ilhali wa Kenya wanaendelea kupoteza maisha yao. Bwana Spika, ukienda Meru wanauawa ni kama kuku, na tuko na serikali, na kazi kubwa ya serikali ni kulinda mali na maisha ya mwananchi, Bwana Spika. Laikipia ukienda sehemu za Dodo, uende Ormora, ni hivi juzi, Bwana Spika, nilitembelea pale mahali kunaitwa Mutanga. Wakati kunanyesha, unapata hawa wezi wameingia katika boma la mtu, wamechukua mifugo wake na kuwachinja hapo hapo kando ya nyumba yake, Bwana Spika. Ukiuliza, waziri wa usalama anakuambia anajua unalala wapi, unalala vipi, kitanda kiko namna gani, utaamka saa ngapi, ati anajua hata unaota vipi. Kwa hivyo tunataka waziri awache mambo ya vile watu wanaota, vile wanalala, ashughulikie mambo ya usalama, kwa sababu hilo ndilo jukumu lake kubwa. Lakini si kila wakati yako katika hizi jukwaa za usalama na hakuna matokeo yote inapatikana. Alivalia juga swala la usalama, Bwana Spika. Nashukuru. Na vile vile, Bwana Spika, nimemsikia Senator Cherargei akisema ya kwamba ati marais wamekuwa walinzi wa hospitali ya Nairobi Hospital. Lakini hakuna hata mmoja alitaka kuwashika wale watu wa bodi, wale wengine wote walioko. Lakini huyu rais wa Kenya amesema peupe kimasomaso, yeye ndiye alitoa amri hawa madaktari waweze kushikwa na kutiwa ndani. Na baada ya kusikia cheche za moto, amesema ya kwamba hizo kesi zao ziondolewe. Hatutachoka kuweka cheche za moto mpaka I want to be informed. No, I am still nimengoja.
So,
Yes,
go ahead, Senator Sifuno.
I just wanted to inform. Nilikuwa nataka tu nimjulishe seneta wa Laikipia kwamba mbali na kuwa rais wa kwanza kuingililia utendakazi wa ile bodi ya Nairobi Hospital na kujaribu kuinyakua, hii ni mara ya kwanza pia, Mheshimiwa Spika, tendo lililofanyika kwamba kesi hizo zilipoondolewa, umemsikia akisema hiyo. Pia hiyo ni kuhujumu ule uhuru wa taasisi zingine, haswa yule mkurugenzi wa mashtaka, ya kwamba tulikuwa tumeambiwa wakati wa kampeni kwamba hizi ofisi za mkurugenzi wa mashtaka, wakuu wa polisi hawatatumiwa ili kuweza kuhujumu watu ambao hawana maono sawa na yule ambaye yuko mamlakani. Kwa hivyo mbali na kujaribu kunyakua hii hospitali kwa mara ya kwanza akiwa kama ndio patron, pia anahujumu uhuru wa zile asasi ambazo zimewekwa pale ili kuweza kuendeleza mashtaka. Nashukuru sana Senator, ulikuwa umetaja hilo lakini ulikuwa umesahau hiyo.
Asante Bwana Spika, huyo ni mwanasheria anaongea na ni mpaka asikizwe kwa sababu ako katika kiwango cha juu cha sheria. Bwana Spika, nakubaliana na yeye 100%. Asante.
Senator Osotsi. Oh, we're supposed to remove him on the dashboard. Senator Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii kuchangia maombi ya taarifa kutoka kwa Senator Hamida na Senator Tabitha Mutinda. Nikianza na Seneta Tabitha Mutinda, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni masikitiko kwamba kwa sasa zaidi ya kampuni 8 za bima zimeweza kusimamisha kazi. Kampuni hizi ni kama ifuatavyo: United Insurance, Blue Shield, Explico, Concord, Resolution, Corporate, Cusco na Trident. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, 5 kati ya hizi zimekufa kabisa. Kiangalia kama United Insurance, Concord Insurance, Blue Shield, zote zimekufa, na mpaka sasa baadhi ya watu ambao walikuwa na bima zao wanaendelea kulipa madeni moja kwa moja.
Yes, Senator Mugeni, go to the dispatch. Senators, if you are going to speak, come to the dispatch, please.
Mr. Speaker, I'm raising on a point of order, Mr. Speaker. There is a senator on the floor of the House, bare feet, contrary to our standing orders, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, rules are very clear.
Which senator are you referring to?
Senator Karen Nyam.
Senator Karen, if that is the case, you're out of order. No, I just saw her go back to the chair. Yes. Dispatch.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The House looks so disorderly. Everyone is talking, Honorable Speaker. Can they stick to the rules of this House? Everybody is speaking. There is a senator on the floor. You are here on the floor. All of them are raising a lot of questions here. Can you be orderly?
Senator Joyce Korir, can I remind you that I am the chair and I'm in charge of keeping this House in order. I don't see that disorder you're... Senator Karen, let this be the last reminder that you're not to be walking around the chambers without shoes, bare feet. Senator Faki, please proceed.
Mheshimiwa Spika, hapo awali nilikuwa nasema kwamba hizi kampuni zote za bima ambazo zinawekwa katika usimamizi wa sheria, hakuna hata moja ambayo imeweza kurudi na ikaanza biashara ya kawaida. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, kamati inapoangalia swala hili lazima iulize maswali ile taasisi ya IRA. Ni kwa nini kampuni ambazo zinawekwa katika uangalizi wake zinakufa moja kwa moja? Na Mheshimiwa Spika, mara nyingi wanaopata shida ni wale ambao walikuwa wamechukua bima na kampuni hizi, kwa sababu tayari mali zao zinashikwa na kuuzwa, na vile vile pia hata mawakili wanapoteza pesa nyingi kutokana na usimamizi wa kampuni. Mheshimiwa Spika, ripoti ya pili ni ile ya ukosefu wa usalama nchini. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa muda sasa wa wiki moja tumepoteza watu 2 katika kaunti ya Mombasa. Kuna bibi mmoja aliuliwa jana katika maeneo ya Likoni, maeneo ya Likoni, na wiki iliyokwisha kuna msichana wa grade 10 miaka 10 alibakwa na kauliwa katika eneo la Kisauni. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, huu ukosefu wa usalama unaendelea kusambaratisha familia nyingi katika nchi yetu. Kule Senti Kumi, Mheshimiwa Spika, mwanamke mwenye mimba aliuliwa na baada ya kunajisiwa na genge la majambazi. Huyu msichana wa miaka 10 pia Mheshimiwa Spika alinajisiwa na akauliwa na genge la majambazi. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, ukosefu wa usalama ni tatizo ambalo kubwa linatukumba katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Na tukiangalia Mheshimiwa Spika, fedha zinazotolewa kwa masuala ya usalama ni karibu 25% ya bajeti ya serikali hii, lakini hatuoni maendeleo ama hatuoni usalama ukiimarika kutokana na serikali hii iliyoko mamlakani. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, hii kamati ya usalama hii masuala ya broad base yako katika upande wa Kenya Kwanza peke yake. wale maexpert ambao tuliwaleta katika serikali ya jumuishi wako katika nyanja nyingine, kama nyanja ya fedha. Ukiangalia masoko ya fedha yameimarika hivi sasa, ukiangalia uchumi samawati unaendelea kuimarika, ukiangalia umeme unapelekwa mashinani. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, tatizo hili liko katika upande wa serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, ukosefu wa usalama. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Esther Okinyoro.
Asante sana Bwana Spika kwa nafasi hii, na ningependa kuunga kauli ya Senator wa Baringo mkono nikisema kuwa swala hili hata ningependa kumuomba kuwa pengine lingekuja katika 53-1 kwa sababu ni swala kubwa mno. Jambo la mafuriko na watu Baringo kufa njaa si jambo la mara ya kwanza. Kwa muda wa kipindi kirefu mambo haya yamekuwa yakijadiliwa, lakini juhudi ambazo zinawekwa pale ni juhudi za muda mfupi. Na nadhani kuwa kauli hii inafaa kuwa kamati ambayo itaenda kugusia, pengine angeileta katika hiyo 53-1, ingekuwa ya kusaidia sana wakazi wa Baringo, lakini kwa sababu iko kwenye 52-1 inatuzuia kuzungumza zaidi. Lakini ninamuunga mkono seneta huyo wa Baringo kama viongozi shupavu, viongozi wachanga ambao wanazidi kuwakilisha wananchi wa sehemu ambazo wanatoka hapa bungeni. Nikimalizia pia Bwana Spika, nizungumzie kauli ya Commissioner Joyce Korir ambayo anazungumzia mili ambayo imepatikana pale Kericho. Na ningependa kuomba kuwa kamati ambayo itaangalia suala hili iweze kuangalia kwa makini, kwa sababu ikumbuke kuwa tulikuwa tena na swala hili sehemu zile za Shakahola. Hadi sasa sijaweza kujua kwamba tulitambua mili ile ilikuwa ya kina nani, imebaki tu kuwa hadithi. Ni ombi langu kuwa swala la Kericho lisiwe kama jinsi swala la Shakahola lilivyomalizika, ili tujue ukweli wa mambo, na isiwe kupoteza maisha ni kitu rahisi tu hapa Kenya, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo hili ni swala kubwa kabisa, lisizungumziwe tu hapa na iwe kamati itaundwa na swala hilo limalizike. Kwa hayo machache, asante sana Bwana Spika.
Senator Andrew Omtata.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to contribute to the issue of the statement by Commissioner Joyce on the question of these bodies which were dumped in Kericho. The other day I made a visit to the hospital next door to my home in Busia called Kocholia Level 4. I went there and I was able to visit the morgue, and I was shocked to find that they have over 20 bodies that are unknown and have been lying there for years, and they are not in the fridge. They have been taken out, now they are stuck in a room like dried fish. So they just keep on pouring on formalin and whatever, because the fridges are not working and the morgue works on what they call manual mode. So the question of undisposed bodies and or disposal of bodies in this country requires serious attention. As regards the statement on Nairobi Hospital, I would like to inform the House that I'm the one who stopped the AGM, which had been engineered to stage a coup in the hospital. I went to court and I obtained orders stopping it. Nairobi Hospital is not a private hospital per se. Nairobi Hospital, in its articles and memorandum of association, has the president as the patron. It has, if you go to section 5 of its memorandum of association, you cannot make an alteration to the articles of that hospital without the input of the Attorney General. Number 3, Nairobi Hospital is not a private hospital. It's not owned by anybody. It's under something almost like a trusteeship through the association. And the issues in Nairobi Hospital need a lot of attention because the public has invested a lot in that hospital. If you look at the letters of grant that were given in 1952 Nairobi Hospital sits on trust land. Doesn't own that land. It only nominally occupies it, and if it was to move out, it can only be, if the government wanted to take back that land, it would only be compensated for the buildings. Number two, Nairobi Hospital gets a lot of grants from philanthropic bodies. Even Kenya's United Nations office here in Gigiri is there courtesy of Nairobi Hospital because that's a treatment center. The VVIP medical facility in this country is at Nairobi Hospital, where the president is treated, where President Moi died, President Kibaki died, and even when Tundu Lissu was, may I have just a minute?
Senator, I'll give you a minute. Do you want to be informed by Cherargei? He's making a lot of requests. Would you like to be informed, or should I tell him?
If the time will stop running.
Stop the clock. Stop the clock.
Cherargei can easily come and take all my time.
Stop the clock. But you only have 1 minute remaining.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, just on a point of information, and I want to thank Senator Okiya Omtata for that honesty and truthfulness. And that is the integrity we need from leaders, not conveniently misleading us. The point of information is that I wanted to inform that the public has invested so much that even the medical cover under Parliamentary Service Commission, Nairobi Hospital is listed that is providing medical cover for these members of parliament, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, we have a lot of interest in Nairobi Hospital, not as a country, but even the entire leadership of this house seek medical cover from Nairobi Hospital and others that has been listed by Parliamentary Service Commission. Not only members of parliament, but also the staff of parliament get their medical services from Nairobi Hospital. So thank you, Okiya Omtata, and I can see your journey is getting very interesting by the time.
Senator Omtata.
Having underscored the public character of Nairobi Hospital, it's in the interest of all of us to make sure it is given the attention it requires. But that is not an excuse for cowboys to begin raiding the hospital or under all manner of pretexts. In fact, the reason I went to court and got orders was because there were cowboys hovering. In fact, they were not cowboys, they were vultures hovering to go for carcass. So I got those orders, and the orders are enforced, and we are fighting the issue out. And I will request whichever committee is going to consider that matter to consult me. I'm an authority when it comes to Nairobi Hospital. And by the way, I would encourage you to become members. You only pay 15,000 shillings, 10,000 for membership, then 5,000 annual fee. So let us put our heads together and make sure we save this hospital, which is a center of excellence in this country, so that it can continue serving us. Even right now, if you are to go into a
Senator Veronica Maina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. And I rise to join my colleagues to support the statement brought to the floor of this House by Senator Hamida, especially on Nairobi Hospital. I want to support what Senator Okiya Omtata has just described right now. First of all, Nairobi Hospital is registered as a non-profit organization. It is owned by Kenya Hospital Association. And when he's encouraging members to become, colleagues to become members of Kenya Hospital Association, the subscription would be to that organization known as Kenya Hospital Association. Honorable Speaker, we must guard this House by ensuring that our colleagues do not display any form of ignorance to the public, especially on a critical institution like Nairobi Hospital, which treats close to 290,000 patients annually, Honorable Speaker. A center of excellence that supports not only Kenya, it supports East Africa, it supports the Central Africa. You will find a lot of citizens from within this region are consulting Nairobi Hospital for healthcare and medical services. So, Honorable Speaker, it is therefore very sad to watch this board having interactions and internal disputes which have been so protracted that they have even gone to court. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, and to the commendation of doctors for a very long time, doctors who serve as missioners, because being a doctor is like a calling from above. We have not seen doctors being too politicized. This is the season when we have seen the medical profession changing. And I want to state this, Honorable Speaker. The President is the patron of Nairobi Hospital. And as a patron, he has different responsibilities. First of all, he has the responsibility of arbiter, a neutral arbiter. He can intervene when there are wrangles and cause the people who are not listening to one another to sit down and agree. Honorable Speaker, it is a big shame. And I want to call the boards that have been serving at Nairobi Hospital to order, because the wrangles we have experienced to a point where at some point you could not have hot shower. Patients could not have hot shower in Nairobi Hospital. Patients could not have healthcare in Nairobi Hospital. Is an embarrassment to the whole nation. And I would be sad if the patron would watch Nairobi Hospital going down. The opposite of the President not getting interested in that healthcare would be bad, because, Honorable Speaker, this is the healthcare taking care of even the members of this House. I want to remind this House of the Omnicare. This clinic, which is body by design, the one where Lucy Wamboi died undertaking a plastic surgery. That clinic was unknown and it was illegal. Yet the government was called to order. The ministry was called to account.
Thank you, Senator. We're running out of time, Senator. I'll just conclude.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, it means that in healthcare sector, even an individual who pretends or who assumes the role of a doctor, the ministry and the government is called to order. How much more should we not call the Ministry of Health to order on the question of Nairobi Hospital? We don't expect Aga Khan Hospital to collapse. We don't expect Nairobi Hospital to collapse. And if something is going off in any of the health institution, which is licensed by Ministry of Health, the cabinet minister will answer, and ultimately the president would answer, even on illegal clinics. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Matsayo, Minority Leader.
Asante, Stahiki Speaker. Bwana Speaker, kwanza nataka kumpa kongole Senator chipukizi kutoka eneo la Baringo, ndugu yangu Kiprono, kwa taarifa ambayo ameleta ndani ya bunge la Senate kuhusikana na vile mvua inafanya madhara ambayo hayafai kuweko ama yanakuja kwa mipangilio ile ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Bwana Speaker, ni kwamba tunaelewa ni siku gani siku za mvua ndani ya hii nchi na siku ambazo si za mvua. Bwana Speaker, utaona ya kwamba ni jambo la aibu ikiwa kila mwaka enda, kila mwaka rudi. Mvua ikifika ni lazima Mkenya ama Wakenya nambari kubwa watapotea ama watapoteza mali zao na watapoteza maisha kwa sababu ya mvua. Bwana Speaker, hili ni jambo la aibu, jambo la kusikitisha. Ni kwa sababu ni lazima serikali yetu iwe na mipangilio muafaka kuona ya kwamba ikiwa mvua itakuja, basi haitaleta madhara ya kuua binadamu ama kuharibu mali zao ama mifugo. Inakuwa ni jambo ambalo ni kama ambao hatujajitayarisha kwa mambo kama haya. Na ni mwaka nenda, mwaka rudi, tokea tupate uhuru mpaka hivi leo, ikifika wakati wa mvua tunapoteza. Hii ni jukumu ambalo serikali ni lazima izingatie na kuona ya kwamba watu hawawezi kupoteza maisha yao. Ya pili ni upande wa amani ama usalama. Katika ile statement ya Osotsi, Bwana Speaker, ni kwamba ni jambo la kusikitisha pia ya kwamba bodaboda wanaweza kupoteza maisha yao. Wafanyi biashara wanapoteza maisha yao kwa sababu biashara inaanza asubuhi mpaka jioni ama usiku, watu wanaendelea na biashara. Watu wanakufa kwa sababu ya kwamba hakuna usalama. Na usalama ni kwamba maisha yako juu ya kila mwananchi ama kila serikali lazima iangalie uhai ama maisha ya kila Mkenya. Kwa hiyo hilo ni jukumu ambalo serikali lazima lifuate kwa maalum. Hii kamati ambazo zitapewa hii kazi lazima zifanye namna hiyo. La mwisho Bwana Spika ni kwamba vile watu ambao wengine wakiwa wamekufa wengi namna hiyo wanazikwa katika mass graves. Sisi kama watu wa Kilifi, Bwana Spika, ningeomba muda wa dakika moja. Asante. Asante Bwana Spika, utanisaidia kidogo. Naona bado inaendelea.
Senator, wakati yako imekwisha. Kiongozi, nikiongezea kila mtu muda hatutamaliza hizi statements. Muongezee dakika moja.
Asante Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, kwa kumalizia, nilikuwa nasema donda sugu la watu kuzikwa limekuwa kama sasa mtego katika Kenya. Watu wanazikwa katika makaburi wakiwa 20, 30, wanazikwa grupu wanazikwa. Hiyo ni mbaya. Haifai kwenda namna hiyo. Sisi katika Shakahola watu walikuwa wanafukuliwa, miili yao inatolewa. Hivi sasa imewekwa mbele ya hospitali. Bwana Spika, mpaka lini tumemwambia waziri anayehusika, waziri wa mambo ya ndani ya usalama, akiwa anasimama huku akijigamba, akipiga kifua akisema kwamba anajua pale watu wanalala, wale wanaishi namna gani, hata watu wakiwa na mabibi zao ndani ya bedroom, yeye anaweza kujua kwa sababu ako na intelligence. Lakini tunamwambia kitu kimoja tu, ya kwamba ukijua kitu kama hicho, wale watu ambao wamelala pale Malindi Hospital watolewe ndani ya ile container, wende wakazikwe. Sasa ni jukumu lake kuchukua hatua kama hiyo. Asante Bwana.
Senator of Baringo County, Senator Kiprono Cheburet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to make a comment on the statement made by a distinguished senator from Laikipia, who is my immediate neighbor, about human and wildlife conflicts. Mr. Speaker, it is not a matter of Laikipia alone. It should be a matter of concern for the neighboring counties, such as Samburu, Baringo, and Nakuru. Laikipia County is among the counties we depend as Baringo in production of food security, and they have been disturbed by the wild conflicts for a long time. So it is high time we need departments of tourism to take action, and we need answers. We demand answers from the tourism fund and management for their wildlife to stop destructing farms, and we've lost a lot of life through the destruction by the animals. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Enoch Wambua.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, two quick comments. First is on the statement by Senator Kibwana on the matter of Nairobi Hospital. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to my colleagues, and I must say this and say it as plainly as it can get. That, Mr. Speaker, it is true that the President of the Republic of Kenya, by virtue of the office that he holds, is the patron of Nairobi Hospital. And that has been the tradition since the hospital was established. Mr. Speaker, I have never heard of any other president involved in the manner that the current president has gotten involved on the issues of Nairobi Hospital. And Mr. Speaker, I thought the patron for a facility as important as Nairobi Hospital would be to arbitrate in cases of disputes. That if there's a problem with the board, then what the patron is expected to do in good order is to call members of the board and arbitrate and find a way out in the crisis, Mr. Speaker. Not to take sides and order the arrest of a section of the board members. And Mr. Speaker, when I hear Senator Cherargei talk about the interest at Nairobi Hospital and the cover that we have as members of parliament at Nairobi Hospital, Mr. Speaker, what is in Nairobi Hospital that is of greater public interest than what is happening at the Kenyatta National Hospital? Kenyatta National Hospital is a fully public-funded facility. We saw the other day, Mr. Speaker, cancer patients demonstrating, crying out to the President, the Minister for Health, saying that the only facility, the only machine that is used, Mr. Speaker, for oncology has broken down for the last 3 weeks, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what I want to say is this, that this has got nothing to do with whatever side any one of us belongs to. This is about this country, Mr. Speaker. We have had presidents before President Ruto. We will have presidents after President Ruto, and all of them, Mr. Speaker, as has been the case.
Senator Wambua, we'll stop your time. Allow for a point of order to be raised. What's your point of order, Senator Cherargei?
Speaker, I raise under Standing Order 105, Article 94 and 96 of the Constitution. And also, Mr. Speaker, to request, because the questions, is it in order for the distinguished senator of Kiambu, Kitui, to want the president to do oversight of Kenyatta National Hospital? Yet it is the same, this parliament, Mr. Speaker, appropriates budget. So if there are problems in Kenyatta National Hospital, it is the parliament to appropriate, not the president. Mr. Speaker, is it in order also, if there are problems of oversight and running of governance of Kenyatta National Hospital and other public institutions, it is this house who does. It is not the president. And finally, Mr. Speaker, if Senator Wambua wants to discuss the president, he should bring a substantive motion. We will deal with him. He should stop throwing snipers against the president, Mr. Speaker, and we will not allow him, Mr. Speaker, to allow that charade, Mr. Speaker. I know he wants to score political bonga points in Kitui for gubernatorial position, but this is not the forum, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wambua, and please conclude also.
I thought you would start by protecting me from very serious allegations made against me by Senator Cherargei that I am scoring bonga points. I don't know what that means, Mr. Speaker. In this House, Mr. Speaker, under Article 117, we are assured of freedom to debate freely, Mr. Speaker, and express opinion and ideas. But, Mr. Speaker, I will let that rest. The thing to say, Mr. Speaker, is that it's okay if, Mr. Speaker, the decision of the House is that the president can remain blind to what is happening at the Kenyatta National Hospital. If that's the decision, that's fine, Mr. Speaker. But the truth of the matter is, there is a serious problem with the biggest referral facility in East and Central Africa called Kenyatta National Teaching Referral.
Senator Veronica, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, is it in order for Senator Wambua to introduce the issue of Kenyatta Hospital, while in actual fact the statement is on Nairobi Hospital, and while in actual fact Kenyatta National Hospital is as equally important as Nairobi Hospital, but the statement on the floor of this House is in regard to the management and the conflict in Nairobi Hospital? Is it in order for him to politicize and bring other aspects just to shield away and shadow out Nairobi Hospital?
Mr. Speaker, you know, Senator Veronica had the floor. If she thought Kenyatta National Hospital was important, she would have said as much. She didn't. She spoke about Nairobi Hospital, Mr. Speaker. I use my time as I please. It's my time. So, Mr. Speaker, it is okay. Members of the Senate on the government side, you have decided that the president can be blind to the problems at Kenyatta National Hospital.
Senator Mofaya.
Asante sana Msaiki Speaker. Mheshimiwa Speaker, ningependa kuchangia taarifa ya mwenzangu ambaye amedhihirisha kwamba kuna mtiririko na ufasaha wa mawazo kuhusu janga ambalo linakumba kaunti mine gatuzi la Baringo, ambalo ni janga ambalo limesababisha vifo, limesababisha upotevu wa mifugo na mambo mengine yale. Mheshimiwa Speaker, haya ni mambo ambayo yanaonekana katika nchi yetu. Juzi hapa Nairobi tumepoteza watu wengi sana kwa sababu ya mafuriko. Na ni vizuri sana Mheshimiwa Speaker, sisi kama serikali, kwa sababu tuko na wataalamu wala ambao wanaweza kuangalia hali ya anga, sababu mambo kama haya Mheshimiwa Spika ni mambo ambayo yamekuwa na sisi kwa muda mrefu sana. Kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Spika, mafuriko hapa nchini ama ukame si mambo ambayo yamekuja tu hivi karibuni, na ni vizuri kama sisi kama ni viongozi, kama ni serikali, tuwe na mikakati ya kuhakikisha kwamba tumeweka mikakati ya kutosha kuzuia majanga kama haya. Vile vile Mheshimiwa Spika, unajua kwamba kuna pesa nyingi sana zinazotolewa kukabiliana na majanga kama haya, na hizi pesa mingi sana Mheshimiwa Spika zinaishia kwa mifuko ya watu. Kwa hivyo vile vile ni lazima tuwe waangalifu, tuone kama kwamba zile pesa ambazo zinatolewa na serikali na wengine wale kupambana na haya majanga zimetumika zinavyohitajika. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, hii ni taarifa ambayo si taarifa ya Baringo peke yake, ni taarifa ya kitaifa, kwa sababu kila mwaka huu, mwaka rudi, mwaka nenda, tumekuwa na masambulishi ya kila aina wakati wa mvua na wakati wa kiangazi. Na ni vizuri kama serikali tuhakikisha kwamba haya ni majanga ambayo tumekumbana nayo, ndio tumalize hii maneno ya kusema kila siku tunapopata janga la mvua, janga la kiangazi, tuko na matatizo ya hapa na pale. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, nachangia naunga mkono taarifa hii.
Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make some brief comment on the statement raised by Senator John Kinyua in regards to the issue of Lariak Forest, which is approximately 7,500 hectares, which is a breeding ground for elephants. Mr. Speaker, this statement is a very important statement that all of us must pay attention to it. I'm aware and I'm quite familiar with Lariak Forest. This is an indigenous forest that spans all the way from east of Mailisaba to Tandare. The biggest problem, Mr. Speaker, because I've seen that the issues that the Senator is raising has got to do with these elephants not being able to get water. So they're encroaching into lands, farmlands. Mr. Speaker, the issue here is very simple. There's been a lot of increase in terms of elephant populations, but also there is a lot of increase in human population. And there is a big problem whereby we do not have a migration corridor between the Lariak and the nearby Rumuruti and Marmanet forest. Those are the things that must be addressed. I know the Senator has raised concern about KFS not having really done a good job in terms of fencing the forest, but it becomes impossible when you fence a forest, but the human population is also increasing, reducing the size of the forest. In fact, Mr. Speaker, this forest has reduced to nearly 50% of its original forest. So we have to deal with the issues to figure out whether we relocate the elephants and allow human population to continue encroaching into the forest. There is a lot of deforestation in this forest. KFS has done a fantastic job in trying to control. But the big issue is not that the elephants are lacking water, Mr. Speaker. The issue, Mr. Speaker, is that human population has fully encroached. And when we have to deal with this issue of human-wildlife conflict, we have to be alive to the fact that without having a corridor where elephants can easily migrate from the Lariak forest to Marmanet forest, it is going to be virtually impossible for KFS to be able to manage this situation. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like the committee to try and explore how the elephants can be moved from that forest to another area, or how a wildlife corridor can be created to ensure that these elephants can easily migrate from Lariak to Marmanet.
Senator Olekina, would you like 1 minute to conclude your statement?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you for being very generous. I think I just need to conclude that the forest has shrunk tremendously because of human encroachment. There's a lot of human beings moving into the wildlife area. So the question the committee must look is whether there is a possibility of creating a wildlife corridor. Mr. Speaker, in this Nairobi forest, the late John King surrendered almost 700 acres of his land to be able to create a wildlife corridor for wildlife which will be migrating from Kitengela, part of Kitengela, into the Nairobi forest, into this Nairobi forest. So it's important that we balance that issue. So those are the big issues, and Mr. Speaker, thank you for, I think I've made up my point, or rather I've made my point clear, that the issue is not lack of water for the elephants. The issue is very clear. There is no corridor. A migratory corridor does not exist. Number two, the forest has shrunk. Those are the issues.
Senator Joyce Korir. Very well. Senator Eddie Kisheru.
I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to just seek a lot of your attention to the statement on the rising cases of insecurity in Vihiga County, Mr. Speaker, which is not dissimilar to many counties that we are seeing now. As you know, Mr. Speaker, under Schedule 4, that security is not devolved. And because security is not devolved, our counties are struggling with figuring out the security architecture. Mr. Speaker, this is a serious crisis to the extent that in Migori County today, Mr. Speaker, and I hope that this statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee, on the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations, Mr. Speaker, will be able to actually look at this as a larger issue. Because, Mr. Speaker, in Migori County, where I come from, and today I was actually with PS Raymond Omolo. He was visiting me in Migori County together with the President. But I thought that this was an issue that you raise on political forums, Senator Cherargei. This is an issue that I think we can handle as a parliament. Because what is happening in Migori County is exactly what is happening in Vihiga, where there are people who have got illegal crude weapons, and there are people with illegal guns, to the extent that they threaten mamambogas, they threaten local traders. People from border have been stolen from their borders, and in some extent also, we have had an issue where M-Pesa agents have been shot to death, like the case that we saw, Mr. Speaker, in a place called Makalda and Osiri Matanda, where an M-Pesa shop owner was attacked, and after being attacked, he was killed. The money was gone, and when the people in Makalda, Mr. Speaker, went to the police to just demonstrate and ask whether the police can be able to help them trace these people, Mr. Speaker, or if the police are so used to these thugs around Migori County, then we have all the police from that place transferred. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, we had a very bad exchange between police and the population to the extent that the police station was burnt there. I know my people in Makalda, Kanyarwanda. I know my people in Osiri Matanda. They are not bad people. They want the police to be there. They want the institution to be there. But when the police cannot respond to their plight that people are being killed by these illegal gun owners, Mr. Speaker, it brought about confrontation. And now, Mr. Speaker, it's even worse, because after this confrontation, Mr. Speaker, I think that there was some more police who were sent there because of the police station that was burnt, and now they are harassing the entire community, Mr. Speaker. Even those who are not affected by this.
One minute.
Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, they are harassing everybody in Mikei, they are harassing people down in Nyakweri, which has got nothing to do with the problem that was in Nyatike. So, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to request that this statement should also look into the problem of insecurity in Migori, but most importantly, being able to harmonize the problem in Migori between Migori and the police right now, so that the policemen who are there can tone down on affecting homes that are innocent and can tone down on affecting lives that are innocent, and instead deal with the crooked people who might have had illegal guns or recruit weapons and are doing bad things, because the burning of the police station was not in bad faith. It was a confrontation that happened because of lack of insecurity in that area, and I think it is important that the GSU that are in Makalda can tone down. So I hope that the committee can be able to look critically in the issue of Vihiga as well as the issue of Migori. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable senators. We have come to the conclusion of making comments on the statements. Honorable senators, I'm going to take this opportunity to arrange the order paper slightly. We're going to defer order number 9 all the way to order number 21, and we'll move to order number 22. We'll ask the clerk to read the next order.
Order number 22, motion, inclusion of teacher training colleges students in higher education funding model. Resumption of debate interrupted on Thursday, 19th March 2026.
Honorable senators, we are going to resume debate on this matter. Senator John Ruto had some time left, but he's not in the House. I will go straight to Senator Eddie Okech. You're the only one on the screen. I have to follow the screen. Senator Cherargei.
Chair, and it is, Chair, as I rise to support this motion, these gadgets are yet to be functional, almost 2 months, because they are not interface. Yes, that is why I'm saying this. In fact, Mr. Speaker, to access, there was an issue of interface. Oh, thank you, Senator Eddie. Is there a problem, Mr. Speaker, or I proceed?
No, you can proceed.
Okay.
Just know that you have 15 minutes.
Okay.
And every other speaker will
Mr.
have
Speaker,
15
just
minutes.
for the convenience of the House, is for the convenience of the House, Mr. Speaker, is we need the Secretariat and also the Commissioner Joyce to note that the gadgets that were put in this Senate are yet to be functional, and they're inconveniencing members of the Senate in its functionality. It is hard to access some of the documentation, and as for us, yes, in fact, we should be brought back the initial iPads, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can I have your attention? Mr. Speaker, this, I'm saying this Titan, we should be brought back our iPads, Mr. Speaker. They were better than this, and I hope the Commission and the Secretariat is noting the inconvenience that is placing before the House. And I don't know what Senator Ed is telling you that he didn't say in Migori a few hours ago. Mr. Speaker, as I rise to the motion, inclusion of teacher training college students in the higher education funding model, Mr. Speaker, this was an outright discrimination, because under Higher Education's Loan Board, the Act, Higher Education's Loan Board Act, CAP 213, Mr. Speaker, and TVET, Technical Vocational and Training Act, CAP 220, it's called CAP, Laws of Kenya 220A. They have provided for funding of students in university and TVET colleges, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and even if the model of funding has shifted, now we use what we call means testing instrument, or MITI. It's MITI, MTI, Mr. Speaker. This is continuing to discriminate our students who are in teacher training, Mr. Speaker, especially diploma in primary teacher education and also diploma in secondary teacher education. They cannot access the government loans and grants as provided by Mr. Speaker because they were excluded. Mr. Speaker, I agree with the mover of this motion that under Article 27 on equality and freedom from discrimination, Article 27(1), every person is equal before the law and has a right to equal protection and equal benefit of the law. Article 27(2), equality includes the full and equal enjoyment of all rights and fundamental freedoms. Mr. Speaker, the fact that the Higher Education Loan Board Act was passed to only finance students in university was okay. Mr. Speaker, that is Cap 213 laws of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, the TVET Act, Cap 210A of the laws of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, funded the technical university or technical students in our TVETs, Mr. Speaker, excluding our teachers who are doing diploma, Mr. Speaker, of teacher training in our teaching colleges, Mr. Speaker. I have received a lot of complaints, Mr. Speaker. It means we are violating Article 27 because the benefits of the law under Article 27, we should not be discriminate against any Kenyans. And I hope, Mr. Speaker, when we will resolve as a House to pass this motion, we will ensure we put in place the necessary, Mr. Speaker, so that our teachers in diploma in primary teacher education and diploma in secondary teacher education training, Mr. Speaker, is very important. And I want to appeal to colleagues. I can't see a number of colleagues who have been teachers, but I know they are following online, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you are aware we have teachers. We have over 32. Mr. Speaker, we have over 32 public teacher training centers. Mr. Speaker, I come from next to Mosoria Teachers Training College. We have Asumbi, we have Bondo, we have Muranga. There are 32, Mr. Speaker, and I think we used to have one in Garissa. I don't know whether we still have Garissa Teachers Training. I was happy when we visited Mandera. There is already an established Mandera Teachers Training School, Mr. Speaker. And in 2025, we had 27,000 students in teacher training centers. These are teachers that we will teach our children in primary school. They will teach our children in primary school, and they are very critical because they form the formative basis, Mr. Speaker. The drafters of the law lack the wisdom to ensure all students access government loans and grants, not only university students, but also technical access, but yet diploma training teachers, both in science, education, secondary education in diploma and primary, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are aware that until 27,000 students under diploma, both in teacher training and other aspects, Mr. Speaker, do not access loan and grants, Mr. Speaker. And I hope we will amend the law, and I believe that it is unfair, it is unconstitutional, as I have read in Article 27, on discrimination on lack of full access to benefits of teachers training in diplomas, Mr. Speaker. And I know in Bondo TTC, the neighborhood of Senator Eddy, understands the pain that our teachers who are training to be teachers, to teach our children, will be very taken care of, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are 33 public teachers training colleges, and of course diplomas, Mr. Speaker, that are pushed through primary teacher education, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you have to know that there are over, I want to thank His Excellency the President, because no one in the history of this country, and that is why you find the opponents of the President, Mr. Speaker, sir, just say bad things. They don't want to say the truth, Mr. Speaker. Out of 300,000 teachers who are unemployed in the history of this country, from Kenyatta, Mzee, Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, no president has hired in a single bullet 100,000 teachers, the way President William Ruto has done, Mr. Speaker. And that is why the work of broad-based government, and when I see Senator Ledama, I see the face of broad-based government in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I see the face of broad-based government in this through Senator Ledama. If you can see Senator Ledama today is the biggest champion of President William Ruto and broad-based government. Who are you? And Senator, the incoming Deputy Minority Whip. I know on 27 Friday, Mr. Speaker, after the ODM in DC, the ODM will put its house in order and whip the Deputy Minority Whip and give it to Senator Eddie Kisheru, Mr. Speaker. Kijana Barubaru, known by the ladies in this house as Kijana Barubaru, to be the deputy of Senator Ledama Olekena. And that will be a very little powerful force that will sell the broad-based agenda across this country, including matters education, Mr. Speaker. When you look at Article 43, one of the basic rights, Mr. Speaker, Article 43, and I'm happy, since you are one of the senior lawyers in this country, and I'm told you are on record, and one of the biggest under TSC, or under NAT, when your brother, comrade, Senator Wilson Sosion, who you later competed with him in the last general election, you are aware under Article 43, 1F, it says every person has a right to education. So we must ensure that Article 43, which is economic and social rights, are entrenched in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. The only way is not to discriminate against teachers who are training to be teachers in our colleges, Mr. Speaker. We must rectify the law. We must regularize the law, Mr. Speaker. And I want to wish Wilson Sossion all the best. I have been told he wants to make a comeback as the Secretary General of Kenya National Union of Teachers. And you know, Mr. Speaker, I was looking at the social media, Mr. Speaker. People are saying it is only Sossion who used to give us long holidays. You know, when Sossion says, I have been directed, Mr. Speaker, to call for the strike, you knew we would have an holiday, Mr. Speaker, of what
Senator
Mr. Speaker, on the matter.
Do you want to be informed by the Honorable Senator Joyce?
Yes,
Correa?
please, of course, the Commissioner can always do
Commissioner, please proceed to
Thank you,
inform.
Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to inform the Honorable Cherargei that Sossion is no longer interested with the teachers' politics, but he's interested in working in the government, and he knows where he's interested in. I don't want to say more about this. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the reason I'm saying you are aware in a matter where Honorable Sossion was cleared by the court. He received his status as a teacher, but since Senator Joyce comes from Bomet and maybe they are compatriots with Honorable Wilson Sossion, he has better information than me. Looking away, the way she's smiling shyly, she knows more than I do. But I wish him all the best. I'm aware he wants to work with the government, and I know, of course, where he will work from. But teachers, if he wants to go back to NAT politics, we wish him well in that aspect. Mr. Speaker, and that is why I'm saying Article 43. And you know, on a lighter note, Mr. Speaker, when there was social media buzz that Sossion will go back to NAT politics, people were very excited that he used to give us long holidays. Especially he used to declare a strike, and we knew 1 or 2 weeks will be off the school, and it was very enjoyable at that moment. Mr. Speaker, and I want to appeal to Commissioner Joyce to lobby hard for Honorable Sossion to get opportunity to serve in this government. And then when he serves, we give him opportunity. He should not come back and disturb you. We should go and serve government and allow you to serve the people of Bomet. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of, and that is why I wanted to make, on the issue of, Mr. Speaker, on the 2021, I wanted to give a projection. In 2021, there were 10,000 students that were in training in diploma teachers training, and there were 27,000. So there was a growth of 17,000 teachers doing diploma, and that is why we need to finance. And most of them, Mr. Speaker, are coming from poor backgrounds. I know you have fund and rambe for a number of them, Mr. Speaker. In many occasions, Mr. Speaker, I have seen the clerk is trying to show you the standing order, but that is well noted. So, Mr. Speaker, I have seen in formally integrated teacher training college students into new funding model that is called means testing, Mr. Speaker, instrument MTI, which is very important. The second prayer, Mr. Speaker, develop regulations and guidelines of teachers. Mr. Speaker, even as we train, and we thank the President, Mr. Speaker, of employing 100,000 teachers who have trained in these teacher training colleges, Mr. Speaker, we must be aware that, Mr. Speaker, we need also a TSC to come up with regulations. How do we absorb teachers? Mr. Speaker, I was shocked to find a teacher who is almost approaching a retirement age. Yet, Mr. Speaker, they are yet to be employed by TSC. 2014, 2013, Mr. Speaker, we need TSC. You find somebody who graduated in 2018, 2022, 2023, they are now employed. But teachers who graduated 10 years ago are not yet to be employed. We need a policy through Teacher Service Commission, Mr. Speaker. Even the issue of VCD by our county governments, Mr. Speaker, including Bomet, including Narok, including Migori. I told there is a Chihuahua in Migori, Mr. Speaker, including Muranga, Mr. Speaker, Nairobi. Nairobi is no longer a going concern, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's no longer a going concern. The ECD, we must have a scheme of service. And that is why when we invited governors to appear before Public Accounts Committee, Mr. Speaker, they must appear. I heard when the governor of Kakamega today was in Radio Jambo, Gideon Agosti in the morning, Mr. Speaker, he was asked about the ECD teachers and scheme of service, Mr. Speaker. But he was not able to answer. And he's accusing Senate of doing the average through Public Accounts Committee or Public Investment Committee, Mr. Speaker. They say who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Our governor, who is facing 19 billion Ketrago scandal, lectured the Senate. They cannot, Mr. Speaker, and he went ahead to say, CS Oparanya never appeared before PAC. I want to inform him, CS Oparanya appeared religiously before Public Accounts Committee. And that is a question we will ask in ECD, scheme of service. Our teachers are suffering, Mr. Speaker, even in my county. They are paid 10,000 shillings, Mr. Speaker. Yet they pay a lot of money to go through training, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the interest of time, and I've seen my colleagues want to contribute, Mr. Speaker, and I want to listen to comments of Senator Eddie Kisheru. I know he was with the president in Nyanza tour. He might have brilliant ideas on how we can fund our students in teacher training. But I want to thank the people of Siaya for ensuring that Governor Orengo did not speak, because he has not been supporting broad-based government. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, allow me to support this motion. I hope to listen to Senator Eddie.
Thank you, Senator Cherargei, for your contributions. Maybe for your information and for future reference as a practicing lawyer, the matter that you made reference to of the Honorable Wilson Sossion versus TSC is civil appeal number, I believe, 476 of 2019. Honorable Wilson Sossion versus the Teacher Service Commission, where the commission was told that their action of removing him from the register was illegal, unfair, and he's back in the register as a teacher. Yours truly was involved in the matter. And the justices Tuyot, Karanja, and Nyamwea made that landmark decision. So for purposes of future reference, those are serious precedences. I'll call upon Senator Olekina to make his contributions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I raised to make some brief comments on this very, very important motion, which I fully support, just to be able to go on record. The motion, which is inclusion of teacher training college students in higher education funding model. Mr. Speaker, this motion calls for a policy shift in terms of funding education in this country. If you look at the level of education for teachers, it is mostly in diploma, while in the higher education, it's a degree. So that has got to be the clear distinction. Mr. Speaker, there are quite a lot of cons and pros and cons on this matter. And I'll just try to focus a little bit on some of the advantages. One, Mr. Speaker, when you include diploma students in higher education funding model, despite causing a policy confusion, you are allowing those who cannot be able to afford to go to the university be able to also participate in nation building. So there is an indirect nation building because they will be able to achieve their goals and contribute, particularly to the CBC system of education, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the question is not whether to include this diploma or other teacher training students into the high funding, into the university, into the higher education funding model. But the question is, how do you ensure that you do not strain the system? You will need money. So we have to think critically on how to be able to come up with funding. Either we reduce the cost and the government supplement TVET training, reduce the cost of these colleges so that these needy students can be able to get access to this university funding, or come up with another fund. Mr. Speaker, I've seen the president being very creative. He came up with the infrastructure development fund, which is funded by the public. It is funded by either privatizing government entities. Is it not time for us to think critically on how not only to confuse the policy, but to come up with a dedicated funding model to be able to fund these TVETs. You know, Mr. Speaker, if you go to my village, walking distance from my house is a TVET. I'd be very happy to see a lot of our local students, needy students, being able to get their university, their college education fully funded. So, Mr. Speaker, we must now ask ourselves, how do we ensure that when we agree to this motion of inclusion of teacher training college students in the higher education funding model, we prioritize the needy students? We have to be clear. First, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Education and even the sponsor of this bill, Joe Nyoto, has got to be cognizant of the fact that there will be need for us to be able to develop a policy specifically to be able to differentiate between a degree funding and diploma funding. Mr. Speaker, we've had this debate on bursaries for secondary school students. We've had this debate on scholarships that are being offered by county governments versus scholarships that are being offered by the Ministry of Education, and also bursaries being offered by the CDF. We have to be clear so that we don't now confuse the entire system, because I see confusion coming in. Mr. Speaker, one of the things that I like in terms of now introducing this new funding model is that the students who end up getting a diploma will be aligned with their peers who are in the university who are also getting their degree. So it's a welcome proposal, but what is the reality of it? Are we going to strain the system thoroughly? Or could we find a gap so that at least when a student is enrolled in this TVET, they have to meet certain requirements before they can be funded? Because we have to be sure that whatever we are getting, the students who we are funding, we either fund them based on merit, but not just having a blanket fund. Otherwise, it is going to be very, very confusing. So, Mr. Speaker, I do not want to waste so much time because I see you still have about 4 of my colleagues who wants to contribute. But I just want to summarize with the following points. One, if the House agrees to promote this motion, let it not be one of those motions where we pass in this House but becomes impossible to be able to implement. We have passed so many motions in this House, Mr. Speaker, and I know the Senate pronounces itself through motions and bills, but some motions can become very difficult to implement if we do not come up with a dedicated funding way to be able to ensure that we don't strain the system. This, Mr. Speaker, will be able to boost TVET education, because those students who could not afford to go to TVET can be able to be given an opportunity to be able to attend. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to end by saying that it does make sense. This motion makes sense. However, it will only be practical if we have a dedicated fund that can be divided amongst all the 47 counties, so that at least in each of the 47 counties, if, let's say, for instance, we have 5 billion shillings in this fund, you divide it among the 47 counties so that it is equal, there is equity, and there is also some form of equality in terms of the distribution of the money. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, I was listening to my senior, Senator Adamo Lekina. I like borrowing some wisdom from him because he's my senior and he's also my whip in the House. But I think I wanted to just encourage him that this particular proposal is indeed a good one. Because, you know, if we look at education in terms of the split, in terms of whether you're in the university category or you're in diploma category, the problem is that the access to either is a problem based on household. The access to whether you are going to access a higher education at the level of university, or you're going to access education at the level of a diploma certificate like our TTCs are, the fundamental difference will be the background of your family. And that is why I really did support the new higher education funding model that was established, because it had got some three elements that were very critical, Mr. Speaker. Number one, it sought to be a student-focused or a student-centered kind of facility, meaning it assesses the idea of accessibility based on student need that has been scientifically proven. And then number two, Mr. Speaker, it sought to be an equity-based kind of funding model, meaning it goes beyond the student and start assessing their family's capability and how that is evenly distributed across the society. Because that even distribution, what it did is that it stopped the universities from just getting these block loans or block grants or block funding just pegged on the university to the assessment by itself, but having a society that can do that structured scientific measurement through the banding system. So that, Mr. Speaker, the 5 bands that were created by this fund could be able to assess students' needs from the most needy, what the band calls the extremely needy, to the low income one, to the middle income, to the higher income facilities. Now, if you can be able to think about our education from that perspective, then certainly, Mr. Speaker, that must then be able to extend to any facility that gives students education beyond secondary level. Because, Mr. Speaker, if you're going to stratify education based on the needs of students and based on the family backgrounds, then you should not stop it at the university level. You should come to the college level, and you should come to all the diploma levels. In fact, Mr. Speaker, given that even our counties are struggling with technical institutes in terms of accessibility, you have seen the kind of loans. I do a lot of audits for the funds in the county, Mr. Speaker, in CIPIC, and you can see a lot of bursaries. Mr. Speaker, our county government are struggling with sometimes raising 400 million worth of bursaries so that they can be able to give students access to TVET education, access to diploma education. And sometimes somebody needs just 60,000 a year. Yet, what they can be able to get from these bursaries, because it's a bigger pool of people who want to get access to this tertiary education, Mr. Speaker, they end up being given 5,000 to 10,000 shillings. So even after going to a governor's place over and over and over looking for bursary, these people and these students don't end up getting this level of higher education. So I think that this is a very, very strong motion that we should consider, Mr. Speaker, and strong to the extent that I think and I believe will actually be able to help a swath of young people coming to our critical infrastructure, which is the infrastructure around education. Mr. Speaker, as we're speaking right now, look at even the struggle of conceptualizing CBC. It's so difficult. But even if you leave alone that, Mr. Speaker, think about even the ECDs, the early childhood development education, Mr. Speaker, in this country. How do we facilitate a proper training of people who start off our children in this country? It's through proper training of these teachers. It's a critical one. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that if there is a way that we can get an excuse of morality on Article 43 of the Constitution that says that basic education is actually compulsory to everyone, and Article 53 of the Constitution that further guarantees the supplementary of any kind of support to access to education, then our teachers will be the critical lot that we must fight for to be able to enter into this funding model, Mr. Speaker. And I say so because if you look at the funding model, Mr. Speaker, it has got a seriously targeted support. And that targeted support, Mr. Speaker, look at students' needs in the areas of tuition and accommodation. If you look at the 33 colleges that we have today, Mr. Speaker, if you go to Chuka, if you go to Kaimosi, TTC, if you go to Migori, TTC, one of the biggest challenges for those who are going to these institutions is accommodation. And number two is tuition. That challenge is not only outstanding to people who are in the universities, it is outstanding to everybody else who goes to these tertiary institutions of diploma level and certificate level. They need that facility. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, one of the things that I really appreciate about the broad-based government is the support of President Ruto's vision around using the house levy to build institutional funding for students who are going to this kind of institutions. Because if you figure out proper institutional funding that students can be able to be guaranteed accommodation, then, Mr. Speaker, you don't only help them access proper education like teachers would, but also you bring about dignity in study, Mr. Speaker. Can you imagine, Mr. Speaker, that there are TTCs in this country where a teacher goes, a trainee goes for training, and as they go for training, in the evening, they go and live in an iron sheet housing somewhere because they cannot be able to afford accommodation, Mr. Speaker. In some shanty kind of facilities that they can only be able to pay sometimes 2,000, 1,000. Apart from just killing their morale and exposing them to diseases and other things, you also expose them to other problems, including risks such as crime, such as sometimes even sexual harassment for the female students, Mr. Speaker. So there is opportunity here, Mr. Speaker, for this new funding model to be able to bring about dignity to teachers, Mr. Speaker. I had an opportunity, actually, Mr. Speaker, sometimes last year, to visit my brother, Senator Ali Roba, in Mandera. And, Mr. Speaker, since time immemorial, before 2013, when devolution came, a county like Mandera had never had a semblance of national government whatsoever. No semblance whatsoever of national government. If you look at the future of local administration, none was existing. If you look at features like just simple colleges built to the standard that is needed by the national government, none was existing. It was when the governor of Mandera then, our own here, Captain Ali Roba, took the bold decision to actually build a college right from scratch and to be able to finance it, Mr. Speaker, that it was for the first time that Mandera had a teachers' college that now has got about 1,000 students. But you can imagine what that dent looks like in the budget for counties. He just built the college, he's struggling, and the county is still struggling with building hostels for those kids. And worst off, Mr. Speaker, is that the county is even struggling to be able to guarantee a full package of tuition to these students in Mandera. You can imagine the dent, Mr. Speaker, and the weight on an institution like a county, Mr. Speaker. That's why with this higher education funding model, Mr. Speaker, and the framework that has been put around student-centered and equity-based, Mr. Speaker, with the idea that the government has provided the idea of funding splits, where you can actually be able to guarantee scholarships on one side and structure loans on the other, and then allow for parents to be able to contribute according to their weight, according to their capabilities, Mr. Speaker. I think this is the biggest opportunity that we can have to be able to open this kind of funding to serious institutions of learning that are a basic learning institution to our country. We cannot have a country that we are not figuring out how best our teachers can be able to get trained, Mr. Speaker. The overemphasis on higher education as only universities, Mr. Speaker, misses the point. Because the foundation, the substratum of a society, must be schooling at the local level. When you start with ECD, must be schooling at the primary school level, must be schooling at the secondary school level. The caliber of teachers that you produce, Mr. Speaker, is more important than thinking about just the universities, because there will be no engineers in the universities if they do not start from the local level. There will be no lawyers like you, Mr. Speaker, who is a very shrewd lawyer, practices as well, one of the best legislators that we have in this assembly, Mr. Speaker. None of you would be critical lawyers the way I'm seeing you, and I'm seeing some of the senators here, if you do not have a proper foundation at the primary school level, a proper foundation at the secondary school level, Mr. Speaker. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, we know that the current funding level, the way it is, Mr. Speaker, you know, it is a funding level that has also brought about this university fund. The university fund, the difference between university fund and ELB, which some of us must have been might have benefited from, is that universities fund is a pure scholarship model on this funding model, unlike the ELB, which is a pure loaning system. Mr. Speaker, why can't we then rethink the entire higher education model, so that, because you also have then TCC fund, and then you can be able to allow it to inject a scholarship model for the most deserving teachers, Mr. Speaker, who can be able to join the right diploma certificate that they need to go through. Because, Mr. Speaker, the only eligibility for this fund, the only eligibility is that students are placed by KUCCPS, which is, if you think about it, is discriminatory, Mr. Speaker. It should be opened up to meet the tenets of Article 43 of the Constitution and Article 53 of the Constitution. Because when you only admit students based on what KUCCPS has prescribed, that only the students who are eligible to public universities can be able to access the entire institution of higher education, the new higher education funding model, what you lose is a swath of those who are, many of them, if you think about it, Mr. Speaker, the transition of about 900,000 students in the country who go to universities is only a third. So a swath of them remain to only go to this TCC, as well as diplomas, as well as certificate education, as well as our TVET, Mr. Speaker. So it means that the critical mass of support, actually, that we should be able to focus on, should be on this base. And because there's already university fund in this higher education learning fund, Mr. Speaker, then it will be very important that we're able to incorporate the diploma levels to be able to take the swath
Senator
of
Eddie,
a number of teachers, Mr. Speaker.
Did I hear
so therefore, Mr.
Kina,
Speaker,
you want to inform or clarify? Senator Eddie, would you allow Senator Olekina to make a clarification from your comments?
Anytime. He's my senior, and we're having a very good debate here. So,
and take note of the remainder of the time available to Senator Eddie, sure. Senator Olekina.
Speaker, thank you for allowing me to seek this clarification. I'm just a bit confused in the sense that the good senator has alluded to the fact that there are so many students who qualify to go to the university. But what I'm not getting clear is it because we do not have a lot of universities in Kenya that all these students end up going to TVET, or is it because of lack of resources? Because, Mr. Speaker, I would assume that if the challenge is lack of universities, then we should be calling for investments in more universities. The government should be investing in more universities, because getting a degree is much better than getting a diploma. So
Very
that
well.
is the point that I want to
Senator
clarify.
Eddie, could you make that clarification?
Mr. Speaker, I think my senior got me wrong. I said, after we have done our KCSE, the highest number of students do not go to university. The qualification for a university currently, Mr. Speaker, is the minimum is C+ and above. And therefore, KUCCP is, I don't know whether the system is down, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether I'm answered.
You're answered.
This is very important, Mr. Speaker. Can I continue? Because I'm not so sure that the system is down. Oh, but I think this one is on, Mr. Speaker. So I was saying, Mr. Speaker, that the highest number of students who end up going to, who after finishing KCSE, about a third of all students who do KCSE are the ones who make it to university or even qualify to go to university. But a swath of them, the majority of them, don't end up going to universities. They end up going to these diploma courses, including teachers training colleges, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, it will be important and of interest for the country to be able to look at those teachers training colleges as also opportunities of higher learning.
Give him 30 seconds, considering the other members definitely would want to contribute.
Yeah, so Mr. Speaker, I was just saying that the more who are remaining at the lower part of the pyramid need to be considered just as much as those who have gone to the university, and there's opportunity for this fund to be able to engage them, because those who are going to universities are guaranteed support with the fund already, because that's the purpose of the fund. But it can be expanded to take in a swath of the many of them who are remaining into these diploma courses. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support and I thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Senator Veronica Minor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. And I want to support the motion that is on the floor of the House, seeking to have inclusion of the teachers training colleges as part of the higher education funding model. Honorable Speaker, we cannot overstate the importance of teachers training. Teachers training is central to learning. Teachers must be prepared for and be ready to handle the hard task of taking care of learners. And indeed, Honorable Speaker, education is one of the most effective tools of changing societies. Without proper education, we cannot speak of a society that is steady, that is strong, and a society that is ready to take off for development. It is in the education sector where the word mediocrity should not be entertained, or uncertainties or ambiguities. That should not be entertained, because, Honorable Speaker, the quality of our students is as good as the quality of the teacher. So if we take the teachers training for granted, it means the education that is being pushed down to the learners will not be adequate or fully baked to meet the challenges that are out there in the market. If teachers suffer in training, and where training is not a top priority, there will be a trickle down on the students, Honorable Speaker. I want to say this, Honorable Speaker, an excellent teacher helps us become very decent and very dignified members of the society. And it also helps to generate good students. And I am assuming that the teachers are also aware that the future of our nation rests in their hands. Every morning, when we send our children to school, the future of that nation rests in the hands of the teachers. And when they receive the students, I hope they do also remember the scripture in Psalms 127 and verse 4, that talks about children like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children of one's youth. Because the children are our blessing, our heritage, our future. They are our source of strength to be trained, shaped, and dispatched to make global impact and compete at different levels and to drive change. Now, Honorable Speaker, I want to first of all commend the Kenya Kwanza government for the work that it has done in the last 3 years, because the education budget has been increased by Kenya Kwanza from 540 billion to 702 billion, which is the largest increase in our history. And there are many concerns, of course, even as the budget is being increased. We know that the model is very student-centered. But even as it's student-centered, could we talk of a quality student without talking of a quality teacher? And that is why it is important to streamline these colleges to partake of the resource that is available within the 702 billion. The teachers must be part. The teachers training colleges and teachers training colleges, diploma and certificates must definitely be part of this resource, or must be allowed to enjoy part allocation of this resource. I know, Honorable Speaker, right now, we are even in a transition into CBC, and there are concerns that need to be addressed for smoother transition, for clarity on how the curriculum-based competency-based curriculum is being rolled out, so that, Honorable Speaker, when we are talking of workforce being prepared within the Republic of Kenya, then we have much more clarity on the certifications, on the skills competencies, the skill sets that are being generated even to meet national market, regional market, and international market. In terms of giving human resource capital, it is important that then we get the teachers training colleges streamlined to take advantage of whatever is available. The funding model should therefore be teacher sensitive. While it is student centered, it should be teacher sensitive. Honorable Speaker, if we were to leave the teachers out, indeed, we would be accused that we have breached Article 27, because then we will not have done equity to the teachers in their training. We will not have allowed teachers to become part of what the government is doing fully, or to lift the burden that the teachers are having, especially when you look at the kind of even the economic support that these teachers have at the point when they are going through training. Honorable Speaker. So as I rise to support this motion, I want to first say that the motion is timely. The motion comes at a moment when the system is changing, and the CBC system is being, the issues of CBC are being taken care of or are being focused into, and it is therefore then important that the TTCs, the public teachers training colleges, are not discriminated against, Honorable Speaker. And that by itself, the Article 27 by itself, looked into and juxtaposed against Article 53 that provides for basic education as free and compulsory, we must ensure that every aspect of that education is not challenged in any way. And Honorable Speaker, if you look at the students that would normally apply to go to the teachers training colleges, most of them are coming from very poor families. They are still coming from the same homes that are not doing very well economically. So to leave that burden to the student or to the parents who are sending their young ones for training as teachers, or their mature students as training as teachers, would actually be to leave education sector in a moment of chance or in a moment of ambiguity, or to cause them not to be able to access that training or not to afford that training. So my plea is that the Ministry of Education, in conjunction with the Higher Education Loans Board, works out a model that includes these TTIs into the public teachers training colleges into the funding model, Honorable Speaker. And I want to also commend the government for the number of classes that have been built in this season for the last 3 years, Honorable Speaker. And I know there are some people who don't like to hear this, but in the last short while, 23,000 classrooms have been added into education infrastructure. And that speaks into a better future for our country. And I hope someday, in our culture of acknowledging what is done and what is not done and what needs to be improved, I hope we will reach a point where, even if you do not agree with the government politically, even the ideologies do not agree with the government, we can commend the good that is being done and say what needs to be improved in an objective manner so that we can help our sectors to grow. Imagine, Honorable Speaker, because of all the noise that is happening right now, people do not even know that this government has cutted away the history of having increased funding in education sector from 540 billion to 702 billion. And this is the largest increase in our history. But if we can work out the rough edges, the issues that are still not streamlined enough to benefit from this budgetary allocation, I believe we'll be moving to the right positioning. And let me also say this, as we speak about how we take care of our teachers, they are the highest contributors of the housing levy. So even as the houses are being built by government, we would want to see that teachers also benefit in the houses that are being built in different counties. And instead of somebody shouting from counties saying, hizi manyumba zinaenda wapi, I would advise you to go to Boma Yangu as a teacher and apply for your own house. Stop complaining and move with the times, because even if you are complaining and houses are being built, then when houses are allocated, the next complaint will be, nyumba zilijengwa na sikupata. I didn't get a house and the houses were built. As a teacher, I urge you, because you come from the sector that is contributing heavily to the affordable housing scheme, go to Boma Yangu and apply for your house. The same rent you're using or the same amount of budget you're allocating to your rent or to your home will be enough for you to pay every month for your unit as a teacher, because we want to see our teachers dignified, our teachers doing the right thing, and we want to see a situation where teachers can feel they belong, teachers can know they belong, and teachers can actually live dignified lives. I know, Honorable Speaker, there must be a day where you have been invited to celebrate one of the teachers who have brought you to be a speaker of this house today. Because somebody like you and me, you come from Bomet. How do you think you'd have accessed that seat without having to go to school and passing through the hands of many teachers? How would I, from Kangema, a small village in Kanyanyaine, have come to the city of Nairobi? It was a dream that was too far for me to reach, but the teachers made it possible for us to be able today to come and argue with Ledama Olekina, who lived in the high streets of New York and another state in the United States. But for us, who did not even have a ticket to come to Nairobi, the teachers made it possible. So I celebrate the teachers from Kangema, from Kanyanyaine, Mrs. Kamau, who taught me English, and who made sure that I could understand the grammar. Never mind that English was, stated or taught to me in Kikuyu. They had to describe what a cat is in Kikuyu first before I could understand it in English. But Mrs. Kamau, Mr. Kanye, Mr. Mwishege, Mrs. Njeriti Diemba, or Kahuhia, the principal from Kahuhia Girls, my university lecturers who were there, Professor Kivutha Kibwana, Professor Gedhu Muigai, all those constitutional law teachers, all those teachers combined, so many of them are the ones who have set me up for what I am today. And they have set you up, Honorable Speaker, for who you are today. And they have set us up. And every morning, we are entrusting you with our greatest, our best resource. We entrust you with our children. And that is why, teachers, we can talk about you today in this Senate, and we can say that your teachers training colleges, you must be funded for this program, and the model, the financing model that is available in the education sector must be inclusive enough to take care of your training. With those many remarks, I wish our teachers all the best. We are not on the Teachers' Day. I know there is a day when teachers are celebrated, but I know most of us have one day or the other celebrated our teachers or helped them pay their medical bills or helped them handle the issues they have. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Honorable members, we may rise now. Senator Veronica, you actually still had 3 minutes to go, but you've concluded on your contribution. That is taken note of by the chair, Senator Olekina. Veronica, you forgot to mention that the Honorable Senator Eddie also was in the streets of Yale doing his studies, as you tried your best. And we are all here today celebrating the stories of what we are talking about in the motion today. Now, Honorable Senators, it is now 6:30 p.m., time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 25th of March, 2026 at 9:30 a.m.